For your games here with. Yeah. For your games here with.
The review.
The review. And what are we playing today?
We are playing SpyCraft.
SpyCraft. Alright, so which box are you using?
I'm actually using a different one from those two.
Okay.
I'm using I'm trying to remember, they are called Bloodvine. So it's a different box than those two.
That's the redhead Russian girls?
No, the Bloodvine they're kind of like based off the Mafia. So I'll show you an example of what it looks like. So typically their leader is this guy. So you're going to see that guy in the box usually.
Cool.
Yep.
Sounds good. Alright, so you say you prefer the orange top, not the yellow. Okay.
I'd recommend if you had to choose out of the two and you're new to the game, I'd say that the orange, the Russian themed one, is
Russian the best. It is. Alright, cracking this baby open. Wish I would have done an unboxing first, but that's fine.
I apologize my voice to all those viewers. It's going, so I apologize.
Rough day out in that weather today.
Yep.
Righty. And yours is a pre-con too, right?
It is not, no. But
okay.
It's one that I've designed where I can easily have fun with it, but not be overbearing with it. Okay. So, yep.
Man, when these really come retail new, are the cards supposed to be sealed in plastic?
Yes.
Yeah, because I have the feeling that somebody resealed these, but yeah. Because this came off like it wasn't really...
Yeah.
Yeah. They got me, but it's okay.
So, do you want me to give you a few little nitpick details of the game while you're opening it?
Oh yeah, let's go for it.
Okay, so just an intro here. So this is one of three or four really big names during the 90s, or during the time that it was big. I forgot the exact release date time, or the era period. It was probably late 90s, early 2000s. But it was SpyCraft, which had 3 or 4 sets. It was really big. And the other one was Doomtown, which had a lot of sets. It went for a while. And then also 7th Sea with a big 3.
No LO5R?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Sidebar, man.
Yeah.
So they all had a lot of popularity. And I like all 3. I own all 3 because I just love what AEG did with their card games. But this one is spy-based. And it's a very asymmetrical game in a lot of ways, but it's really fun. Anyway, that's my little side note, little intro to the AG family.
So kind of like Netrunner, though.
Yeah, kind of like Netrunner in a way, yeah.
Okay. And this is not a Richard Garfield, though, right?
No, it's not Richard Garfield, no.
Okay.
Pure AG. Yep.
Cool. All right. Yeah, sounds good to me. Oh, so yeah, and this is just one deck, yeah. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. So, basically, if you want, this is your channel though, so you let me know how much I'm allowed to talk or not, because I don't want to steal your show. It's your show.
I've never played. You do all the talking.
Okay. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to have basically one stack of cards called your mission cards. You'll tell because they're going to look like this. They're going to be oriented this way. Have this kind of text on there.
Okay.
So. There we go, yeah, on the bottom there. So you should have 24 of them.
Cool. $24.
Okay, cool. Now, this represents literally a 24-hour period in a day. So this is like every hour you're doing something as a spy. So this represents a 24-hour period. And so and you're going to run through it. Now, this is the only thing that's shared between the players. So only both players should bring their own set, but only one is going to be used among the players. So you just randomly decide who's going to use whose set. So it's really up to you if you want to use your set or you can use my set. I have no preference. So actually, we should probably use your set. No, actually, do you mind? I have a couple of missions here from one of the expansions. They don't change much. It's not a huge difference. So it's okay. Okay, cool. We'll use mine then. All right. So you're going to have this. This is going to be shuffled in the center, and then you're going to have 5 out at any time. Only 2 are going to be revealed. The other 3 will be face down at any given point in the play of the game. And you're going to send your spies, or these spy characters, during the course of your game to try and score these points. So that will be on the upper left-hand corner here. Will be the points that it's worth. So you're trying to get a total of, trying to remember the total, sorry. I think it was 20, shoot. Okay, this I don't remember off the top of my head because it's been a few weeks. Okay. It's going to be so many points. If you look in the rule book there, it should have the victory conditions on there, how many points we need to get to win. I want to say 24, but that's the number of missions. So I don't know if that's...
Okay, anytime that you have 20 or more VP, you win the game.
Okay, 20, there we go. 20 victor points. I was close. 20 victor points. There we go. So you're trying to get 20 victor points, and then you win the game that way. So that's what we're trying to do. Now, you're going to try and meet these prerequisites, and I'll explain the mission cards as we do that. But so this is the missions. And then you're going to have your deck. And your deck is comprised of your draw deck, and then you're starting your 4 leaders. So, sorry. There we go. 4 leaders. So they should be in your deck. You're going to have 4 of these. They're going to be colored differently because they're going to have... Let me show where it shows that. Oh, so the number of the leader on the bottom is going to be a solid color instead of a light color. Those are your leaders. Yep. And they're going to be numbered 1 through 4, and there's a reason for this. So your first leader you're going to start out with is the 1 leader, the one that's number 1. And then as you progress, you're going to advance to the 2nd leader, 3rd, until you get to your big guy, the 4th leader, which is your big one, the one you really want to get out. Okay. Now, every faction is going to have their own abilities, so you should also have in the starter deck a faction card that gives you what your faction ability is.
Okay. Faction card.
Yep. Should be a reminder that it's probably going to be buried in there somewhere. I don't know exactly where you're going to find it, but it should be in there somewhere. Unless they repackaged people forgot to put it back in.
That would be horrible.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
There we go. And then also usually comes with a reference card, which you want to keep handy. It should be right next to where you got the faction card. But every faction is going to have an ability that you can fire off at certain times, usually once per turn.
So it's like 1 foil per deck or something?
What?
1 foil per deck?
Oh, yeah, usually you got 1 foil in the starter. Yeah, no. Usually you got 1 foil. And then you're going to have your actual draw deck, which is what everything else goes into. So that's how you break it up. So I'm going to go ahead and just shuffle this or put it aside. But the way it works is, now let me explain the agents. So every agent, even your leader is called an agent. Every agent is an agent, whether it's leader or not. It's just your leaders are special agents. They're going to have special privileges.
Okay.
But let me explain that economy of an agent really quick. So here's the leader. So we're going to go through this, and I'll explain it. So you're going to have 4 stats. Sorry, on this side. So you got 4 stats across the bottom, along the side here.
Okay.
And it's going to be charisma, combat, transport, and craft. So these are going to be the stats you're going to use to complete missions. They're all going to be rated certain things, and then during any mission you're going to have default actions you can do based off of those stats. So I think it's going to be best to actually just sort of get into it as we run through it from the first couple turns, explain things, and then just sort of kick into it. That's what I'm thinking. It's be the best way. Just sort of get feet wet. That's what I'm thinking. But I will give a sort of an idea here, because if you have a basic understanding, you want that. So you have the stats. You're going to eat missions with those. You're going to have a cost. Sorry, the cost is over here. So that's going to be the cost to bring it out. And then you're going to have on this bottom corner is going to be a number you can discard the card to generate that much towards meeting a prerequisite, a skill check, basically.
Okay.
Now the difference are the leaders are not going to use that for that purpose. The leaders are going to that number is there just to indicate what level they are as a leader. So you're not going to worry about that as a leader card for that purpose. But other agents that are in your deck that are non-leaders, that's what that number is for. That number. Now you're also going to have the type it is. They're a faction. Bloodvine is mine. Then you're going to have a type of agent. So you have snoopers, fixers. So their sort of agent type is there. And then you're going to have their game effect, which is below that. And it'll tell you what it does. So you have 3 different types of actions. You have a react, a mission, and a combat reaction, or combat action. So a react is going to react to something, and that's the only time you fire it off. So whatever you're reacting to. And it'll say in the text what to react to. A mission action can only be done during a mission. And then a craft action, actually there's several different types, sorry. Intel actions, let me just make sure I'm doing that right. Not mission actions, they're called intel actions, sorry. It depends on the stage. So basically, there is an intel and mission stage. If it says a mission action, then you have to do it during the mission. It says intel action, it's got to be during the intel phase before you do a mission. That's the best way to explain it. And you have reacts, like I said, reacts to something. And then I think that's it. Okay, so it'll say the type of action, and then it tells you what skill you're going off in that text. So for your card, like you see that says, if you read it out, it's a little blurry for me.
Oh, well, it's Intel Transport. Discard the first mission in the queue if it is not a chase mission.
Okay, so you're going to kick that off as an intel action, and then you're going to go off your transport skill. So you look at his transport number, and you're going to try to beat that number. If it doesn't list a number, it's going to be based off of 0, so you're going to automatically meet that, unless someone plays cards to somehow reduce it to below 0. That's never happens. It'd be like really rare, but it's basically an auto do if it has a 0, requirement on there for a number.
Okay.
But if it has a number after the skill type, then you have to meet that number with your skill number. If that makes any sense.
No,
So, for example, react craft X. So there's going to be a variable number you have to meet to make that effect happen. So if you don't meet it, then the effect does not happen even though you fire it off. So it's like try to make something happen. Think of like role-playing in a way, where you're trying to roll, like if you're role-playing to roll a die 20 to make a skill check. Same kind of idea.
Oh, yeah.
It's that. Okay, so that's the basics of, again, a agent. So you understand what the agent card looks like and all that.
Okay.
And then you're going to have equipment, which you'll put most of the time on agents. So that's the equipment there. You'll put that on agents. And then you're going to have also action cards. Think of these as like your interrupts, your instant cards that you play.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the basic, those are the 3 card types you can have in your deck. Actions, equipments, and agents are really the 3 types you'll have in your deck.
Cool.
Yep. So basically, that's how it's done. Now, let me explain when you do a mission. So basically, when you do your turn, you can play as many actions as you want that you have on the table with a limit of once per turn. So unless it says otherwise, you can only do one action per turn per character. So you can't just keep on firing off the same thing over and over again. Unless you have 2 copies of 2 different characters with the same ability for some reason. And then, so it's once per turn. Even the reacts are limited to once per phase, per turn, kind of thing. So you can't fire off reacts multiple times either. So that's that. So let's go into the mission, how to run a mission. So I will bring this up. So again, here's the mission card. Alright, so this is the points you get when you get it. This is a cover number. So that means that if someone's going for a mission, they're going to look at their combat to see if they can survive. But if their combat's low, they can actually go off a cover number if it's higher, and that will give them extra protection. So instead of whatever their combat number is, you'd go with the cover to try and hit them. So that's a cover number. And then the last thing here is you're going to see effects for the attacker and defender. So if you're running a mission, you're the attacker. If you're trying to stop a mission, you're the defender. So it's pretty simple to understand on that, I think. And then you're going to have here on the top side here, you're going to see where it talks about intrigue, well, your mission there. So you're going to see the type of mission it is, if it's in the public or in the open. So if it's in the open and you start shooting, it's going to have negative effects. You're going to blow your cover. If it's private, you can shoot all you want. You won't blow your cover. So that tells you if it's public or private. And then the other things are, it tells you what you need to complete this mission. So for the example, this one has transport +4. I don't know if that's...
Yeah, I mean, do you know why the crispness or whatever you call it, like the fidelity or whatever, sucks so bad right now?
Why the what? Sorry.
Why the I can't even think of the word, but like why the frames per second suck so bad right now?
It gets better when you go to the table. I don't know why my camera does funny stuff, so okay, I don't know. Right. Yeah. So that's the layout of a mission. So you know a basic idea of how that goes.
Okay.
But I think that's enough basic idea. So let's run through the actual. So I think we should shuffle our decks, get started, and that's the best way to let people see is we just start diving into the game, and we just run the first few turns, running through things slowly, so people get an idea and so we all understand what's going on. I think it'd be best. So I'm going to shuffle these. Now I'm going to go to my table. I think you've seen enough of my ugly mug, and you can see the table now.
The beautiful mug.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to switch mine.
Do you think this game will come back anytime?
Probably.
Probably. Okay.
All right. All right. So I'm going to shuffle this, and my camera does odd things if I don't do it just right. So we will. Okay. So I've shuffled this. We're just going to be off to the side, and then we're going to just put these out. I'm going to leave these up here. Now my mission, I'm going to sort of have to squeeze it a little bit, because I don't know if you've got more space on your end, but I think this will still work. Oops. Okay. I'm going to try and squish it. Okay, so these don't really matter much being revealed. The ones that are hidden, so I'm going to leave it just sort of like that, because it's not really important. The ones you want to see are the ones that you can go for. So I'll leave it like that. And I will do this so that my camera acts normal again. Focus. There we go. Okay. And then you're going to have your area of the board. And yours would be on the opposite end of me if we were like physically across from each other. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your level one leader. He's going to be out. You're going to put him off to the side like that. Then your other 3 leaders, you're going to put face down. And you're going to have them off to the side, under, whatever you want to do. I usually just put them under in sequential order like that, so you know that I don't have access to them just now. And then I shuffle. my draw deck. So setup is pretty simple, pretty easy, I should say. Actually, pretty quick, I think.
Okay, now there's 24 possible locations or missions, but only 5 come out, though?
Yes, correct. Yep, there's 24 possible missions, and that's kind of a lot of what makes a fun game is because you really never know what you're going to encounter in a game out of the 24. So a lot of the games can be very different depending on what comes up. Even with the standard 24 set of missions.
And there were how many expansions of this game?
Yeah, so the game came out with 3 or 4 expansions. I want to say 4 expansions. Let's see. Yeah, 4 expansions. So there were a total of 5 sets, I believe. So.
Why did it die? Do you know?
It was just a matter of, I think, through the sets, things did get more complicated as the expansions were released, and so it's kind of just convoluted, makes things a little more complicated, so less people had an easier entry time. So it's just, I think that's what it was. So okay, so. Now, when you have it set up, you just have I put my draw deck off to the left here. But what you want to see mainly is, again, what you have in your headquarters, or what you have in the HQ. So you're going to put all of your agents you put out and all that here in the HQ. All right. So this game, you're going to start out with a hand of, I believe it was 7 cards. If I remember correctly, yeah, it's been a while since I played it. So, 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. All right. Cool. All right. Yeah. So you have a. Oh, sorry. So yeah, you start with 7 cards, and you're going to have a 7-card hand size. That's sort of your hand size every turn. You will, at the end of the turn, do a draw, though, and I'll explain that when we get to that. So we're just going to sort of run through it. So the great thing about this game is there's a lot of really cool flair of SpyCraft, like spies. They really put a lot of flavor into this game, which is really awesome. So there's a lot of things you can do to try to bluff your opponent. So we'll explain as we go. But I'm really excited. I think this will be really, really fun. So, all right. Let me get my stuff into the right categories here in my hands so that I'm not like... Okay. So, also this game is different, that you're going to switch off and do an action, and then you do action, and I do an action, and you do an action. We keep on switching off until both players have passed, basically. So it's not you do everything in your turn and do it and I sit back. We're interacting constantly. And you'll notice that with all the AEG card games, they do that with all their games. So it's really fun because you're always involved because you're just going back and forth. So it's really cool. So now when you go to, if you look on the back of the rulebook, it's going to give you a list of actions you can do in a given turn, just as a reference. So I think that's good to have as a reference. But you're going to have a number of actions. We will decide randomly. Actually, sorry. Whoever goes first has the highest SpyCraft goes first every turn. So when you all look at your leader and look at what his SpyCraft number is. Mine is low. Mine is a 1. So I'm pretty sure yours is probably going to be higher.
Oh, mine is a 1 as well.
Oh, okay. So if it's a tie, then it's just random. So
yeah, but that's that bottom right number, right?
SpyCraft is the bottom number on the very bottom.
Oh, okay. So the craft number.
Yeah, craft. Sorry, craft.
Okay, yeah. So that's actually a 3. My bad.
Oh, so you go first then. You're going to go first.
Yeah. All right. So that means I don't draw on the first turn, or just play.
Yeah. So you draw at the end of the turn, not the beginning.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So I've got.
So the way it's going to work is, for your first action, you can do one of many things. The first is you can play any card face down on the table and declare the card type. You don't have to pay for it. You don't need to have to pay for it right away. You're just putting a card face down and saying whether it's an agent or an item or an equipment.
Now, and do you have to be honest or?
You don't have. That's the thing. You don't have to be honest in this game. However, if you're called out with a card effect and you can't pay for it, or it's the wrong card type when you try to use it, it's discarded.
Okay.
So, but if they never call your bluff, then it's never going to come back to bite you, really.
Okay. And what are those top 2 missions out there right now?
Yes. So we have Hunting the Hunter. So I will bring this up. Oh, sorry, just this way. Okay. So we have Hunting the Hunter. Sorry. There we go. Okay. So let me get this to focus a little better here. Okay. Why is my camera being stupid? There we go. Okay. So it's a chase public transport +5. So it's a chase mission. So you're going to use so inherently that means that you can use a transport action to try and mess up your opponents. And I'll explain that when we get to the actual mission running, if you do that. And then the public, again, is if it's public or private, that's only going to affect you on game effects or if you try to shoot somebody. And then you have the transport +5, meaning you have to have 5 transport more than your opponent to complete this mission. That's what the +5 means. So that's the mission requirement, transport +5. It has a cover of 3 and it gives you 5 victory points. The attacker says if you successfully perform your mission transport actions, you immediately win the mission. So this has an auto win the mission effect as the attacker. You can successfully perform a mission transport actions, then you win the game, period. However, all your mission actions are going to have +1 difficulty while you try to do it. And then, and that's it. So now a transport action, let me bring up the actions here. So the transport action is going to say that you say it's called an evade action, technically the transport action, but you use a chase missions and you're going to go ahead and do mission transport X. So you target someone and then you use your transport skill, and if you beat them, then you send them back to their headquarters. You kick them out of the mission. So by default, each agent still in the mission, when it comes to your turn to do an action during the mission, can do a evade action and try to kick someone off the mission. So that's what the transport mission allows you to do. So that's the first one, Hunting the Hunter. This one is Escape the City. So this is a chase. So it's the same thing, using transport evade actions, but it also is a fight as well and intrigue. So this allows 3 different mission actions inherently. And it's a public, and this one requires a craft +5 to complete. This has a 5 cover, and then it has a 7-point mission victory point. And this is for the attacker. After you assign a team to this mission, you can remove a mission type trait. Oh, okay. So when you assign, you get to remove one of those 3 types as the attacker. And then as a defender on this one, after you assign a team to this mission, remove as well. Oh, so it starts with all 3, but by the time the attacker and defender is assigned, there's going to be 1 that you're going off of. So it's a very interesting mission. I like this a lot. So those are the 2 that are up there. So again, what you can do for your actions, you can play a card face down as an agent, as an equipment, or you can use an effect that's already on the table, or you can play an action card from your hand and do the effect. The other option is you can run a mission, and that has its own set of steps, which we'll get to if we do that. And then the other 2 actions are you can discard the leftmost mission in the queue, so you can just discard it. So example, if you don't want anyone to get that and you don't think you can get it, then you can do that and get rid of it. So it's a way to sort of like get rid of the stuff you can't do, but you don't want your opponent to get. So that's an action option. And the last action you can do is a snoop action. Sorry, actually there's another one, sorry. But you can do a snoop action, and that, if you look on the action cards, your reference card, on the very bottom it has craft, snoop action. So if you do a craft 4, then you examine a face-down card. So this is a way that you can try and call your opponent's bluff. You do snoop action, you can look at a face-down card. It won't actually get rid of it, but you'll know what's there, so you know what you're dealing with on mission runs. So you'll know if he has a valid card to stop you or hinder you, or if it's going to be beneficial or not to him or whatever. And then the last thing you can do is promote. So that means that you can go ahead and put the recruit points that it generates. So he generates 4. So you put that 4 down onto him, and then that is debriefing. No, not debrief. I'm sorry. That's the discard phase. That is recruiting. So briefing the leader, basically. And once you have enough points on here to equal the next one up, so let me bring my next one up. Okay, so my next one has 7. So once I have enough points on this to equal 7, she's recruited. So I'd get my new leader, and my current leader would go and become a regular agent. And they would just go into my regular agent area. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay.
And how do you get the points again?
You just say I'm doing a briefing action, and you just put equal to their cost onto the leader. So he would generate 4 points towards recruiting the next leader when he does a brief action. Okay. So whatever their cost is.
Oh, we're like, we would need dice to track that or something?
Yeah, so we'd use dice to track that. That would be the easiest way to do that on that one, yeah.
Okay. Alright.
Alright. Now, the other reason the leader level is important is the leader determines the actual expense of what you can actually bring into play. So, my leader has a 4 expense, so that means that I can only bring into play legitimately cards that cost 4 or less. Now, they may have a game effect that says otherwise. Mine says actually that he has a +1 expense for activating agents. Expense is that right-hand corner card number that I told you about. It's called its expense rating. So, you can only recruit up to your expense on your leader. That he's your cap. Think of it that way. Again, if you have effects that say otherwise, that would up or lower that for card types, maybe or whatever. For me, it's for activating agents. I treat him as a 5 if I'm activating agents, but otherwise he's a 4.
And how do I get more expense outside of getting to the level 2 agent leader?
Yep. So that's what I was going to talk about. So if you look at the cards in your deck, so I pull out a card in my hand. Again, I did reference this card at the beginning with this right bottom hand number. That is bravado. The bravado number can be spent in one of 2 ways. And you only do it once per action or skill check. But you can discard this card, and I would generate 3 bravado or 3 points towards paying for a card or trying to complete a skill check. That makes sense?
Say the whole thing again, but bravado right. And...
So this is the bravado number on your regular cards in your deck. So I would look at a card in your deck. Just pull out any of the cards.
Okay.
Okay. So look at the bottom right-hand number. That is your bravado.
Okay.
So in other words, if you're trying to pay for something or you're trying to complete a skill check and its card is in your hand, you can discard the card and it will generate that number towards whatever you're trying to pay for or whatever skill you're trying to complete.
Okay. So you just top deck skill check for it or whatever?
No. It would be something in your hand and you would discard this from your hand.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
While you're trying to pay for something?
Yes, correct. Exactly right, yep.
Okay. So, and that would be as you lay it down, or that would be as you called out for it?
When you're activating the card or being called out for it, you never actually pay for your equipment or agents until you actually have to use them or you're being called out for it. Okay. So you literally can have a row of face-down cards and then say, I'm going on a mission, and move them onto the mission, and then not know who you're dealing with until you actually decide to reveal and then surprise your opponent. Or doing an effect on the table, you can wait until you actually want to do the effect and then reveal the agent or the equipment at that time and then pay for it and then use the equipment or the agent.
Alright. Yeah, I'm playing one face down.
Alrighty. And you do have to say the type when you do it. So are you declaring that as an equipment or an agent?
It's an agent.
Okay.
Okay, so gear has to be attached to agents.
Yeah. So by default, I'd assume that's an agent, but you have to say it officially so that people don't forget or get confused.
Okay, like in actions are never played face down.
Yeah, because actions, you're going to play the effect, think of them as interrupts. You're going to play the effect, do the effect, discard.
Okay, there's no traps later on in the game, is there? Are there?
Sorry?
There are no traps later on in the game, are there?
No. You're good.
Okay.
All right, so I am going to declare an agent as well. So I'm going to put an agent in my HQ. It goes back to you.
Okay, so if I wanted to run on a mission, could I do that now?
Yes, you could if you wanted, yeah.
Okay, now if you have an agent, you can just block me, or how does that work?
Yeah, so let's assume you wanted to go on a mission. So you would basically, and you can decide to bring your leader along or not. It's always optional. So let's say I wanted to run this mission, for example. I'd say, okay, I'm running the mission, and then you assign your team going in. So once they're decided, you would sort of move them up. That's a little more table space. So what I've done is just put little markers on there saying they're on the mission or tap them or something like that. But technically, in the instruction book that says move them up towards the mission kind of a thing. But you would move everyone you want to the mission, and then you say, I'm done. And then you're going to be on the mission. And again, you don't have to reveal any of them. Unless they're already face up, then they're going to know by default, obviously.
Okay. Now, could I have my leader go on the mission as well?
Yes. That is correct. Now, you as the attacker, you declare who's going on all at once. And then me as a defender, I decide who to send to defend the mission all at once. So you're going to declare all the people going on the mission.
So we're looking for going on missions, we're looking at the craft skill, right?
No. So you're looking at whatever the skill requires. So if you're going for this one, says you need craft +5. So if you're going for this one, yes, you want craft. If you're going for this one, this is a transport +4. So you want, sorry, let me get this to focus. So you're going to want transport for this one. So it depends on what mission you're going for what it requires.
And you could double attack one mission, right?
You can only run a mission once in your turn.
Well, now, I mean, you can attack with 2 guys on one mission, right?
Yes. You can bring as many as you want with the limit of 4 plus your leader.
Okay. All right, yeah, I'm running on that on a mission, yeah. But okay. I mean, I have to designate who's running on what mission or what?
Yeah, so by default, they're all going to go on one mission. So you tell me which mission they're going on.
Going on the left one.
Okay, so you're going after the one that has transport +5 as the requirement, right?
Yep.
Okay, so then at this point, I would decide if I want to stop and try to stop.
Hold on, I thought the left was the craft +5.
No, the right one is. So you're on the right one?
Right one, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so it's the craft one. I need to see. Oh, geez. Okay, how much craft do you have out of what I can see? Your leader has 3. That's right.
3.
Shoot. You did it early, man. People usually don't jump the missions right away.
Yeah, that's usually my strat.
Yeah. Shoot. You know what? I might just have to let that go. No. Okay, I'm going to bring him on. Okay, actually, before you do that, I'm sorry, there's a reaction on this. This one's special. So, this one again says that you have the 3 types on there. 1 second, sorry, it's just not focused. There we go. Okay, so this says it's a chase, fight, or intrigue mission. As the attacker, you need to decide which of the 3 are going to be eliminated. Now again, these types of mission tells you what default actions your agents can all do. So a chase, again, is you use your transport to knock someone off the mission team. A fight is you try to actually do damage. An intrigue is you try to reduce someone's stats to 0. Those are the 3 different results of those types. Chase uses transport, fight uses combat, and then intrigue uses charisma. So you have to decide which one you're going to eliminate out of these 3 as the attacker.
And you, as the defender, you would try to do one of those 3 things.
Yeah, so basically what you want to do as the attacker is decide which one is least beneficial to you. So what stat do you have the least of out of what you've got there, and eliminate whatever would tie to that attribute.
All right, yeah, let's get rid of that.
So again, chase uses transport, fight uses combat, intrigue uses charisma.
Yeah. And nothing uses transport, right?
Chase uses transport.
Well, and again, the craft, what is that associated with?
Craft is just to meet it. Craft doesn't involve any of those 3 actions. Okay. Craft is just to meet the mission requirements.
Yeah, let's get rid of intrigue.
Okay, so in other words, we don't have that charisma-based stuff for this turn. Okay, so got rid of the intrigue. So I'm going to now assign to this mission these defenders. So I'm going to put these in. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate 1 as well. And I think what I'm going to do... I'm going to get rid of the fight one. So I'm going to get rid of the fight tag. So what that means is this mission is now going to be a chase only for mission actions that are inherent. And I'll explain as we get to the actual mission running. So this has now become a chase mission only.
And it's transport, right?
Which is transport, for the actions. Okay, and I did that for a reason because I'm like, I don't want to deal with combat right now. Okay, so we've assigned the people. So what we're going to do is now you to go ahead and fire off actions and or reveal any characters, any agents, if you want to. If you think you can win it without revealing the agent that was part of the mission, then you can leave it face down. But most people do because you're going to need that agent to complete the mission. So I'm going to reveal mine right now. So I brought in Tito the Shark. He costs 8. So I need to discard a 4-cost one. Oh, wait. Never mind. I couldn't do that. So I would have been able to bring him. I would have just kept that card. So, no, I'm not revealing anyone, actually, because I could not afford him.
Because you can only discard 4 worth of...
Yeah, because the highest is a 4 cost out of the Bravado cards.
Okay.
Normally. There is one Bravado card that's just where the card is literally called Bravado, and that's a 5 Bravado on that card, but that's a rare card. I don't have that. It's a hard to find card. Usually the max is going to be 1 to 4 on a card that you discard for Bravado. So I'm just going to bring. So it goes to you as the initiative. You're the one initiating the mission. So I actually needed to go to you first. I'm sorry. You have the first action. You are the one initiating the mission. So when you look at mission actions, again, this allows you to do the transport mission action, which is called evade. So you can now try to knock Captain Eckhart out of the mission.
Okay.
So you're just saying, I'm doing an evade action.
Okay, doing an evade and used in chase missions. Mission transport X. If this is a chase mission, target an opposing agent, move the target agent to its headquarters. The TN is the target's transport skill.
Yeah, so TN means target number, in other words, the difficulty, which you have to beat or meet.
Okay.
Or which you have to beat, sorry. You have to beat it, sorry.
So I might as well do the evade action, right?
Yeah, you may as well. Now my transport is 2. So the difficulty is 2. So right now you're the first. You're initiating the action.
And that's
So
like your bravado number on the card, or?
Yes. So you look at the transport number on your card.
Okay.
What's your transport?
Mine is 3.
Okay. So by default, you don't need to spend anything. You're going to be higher than me. So that's going to automatically knock me out.
Okay, so since I've got 3 on transport and you've got 2, I can just knock you out.
Yep. So you knock me out of the mission.
So I guess explain that though. So on the transport it says evade used in chase missions, mission transport X. If this is a chase mission, target an opposing agent, and this is a chase mission, right?
Yep, because you eliminated the intrigue and I eliminated the fight. So It was by default a chase mission.
Okay.
Yep.
So if this is a chase mission, target an opposing agent, move the target agent to its headquarters. The TN is the target's transport skill. So you had a 2 and I had a 3, so that automatically bumps you.
Yep, correct.
Okay.
So that successfully knocked me out. It would go to me normally, but I have no one left there. So that makes it a pretty quick mission. So it's going to stop. Unless you want to do another action. Now, right now, you have to have craft. You have to have craft plus 5. So I have a 0 right now. So you need at least 5 craft out of the agents there to make that mission.
And that's between my 2 agents, right?
Yep, correct.
So you can only play actions at this point when it bounces back to you, right?
No, I would pass technically. It's when both people pass. So I would pass and go back to you.
I mean, I'll go ahead for the 5 crafts. Yeah, I guess I'll try to knock out 2 missions in one, I guess. Yeah.
So basically at this point, you would see if you need to reveal your agent. Because what is your craft right now from what you got revealed? 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you need to hit another 2.
Yep. Okay.
So if that is an actual agent that you've got with him, who can add the 2 needed, then you can reveal them now.
Okay.
To make sure that you have the 2 craft. Okay. Alright, so she's got 2 or 3 craft at least. Or Xavier does, sorry.
Yeah, Xavier's got 2. Yeah.
Okay. So there you go. So you reveal the agent. Now can you pay for the agent when you reveal? Remember, you pay for the card when you reveal them. So what's his expense? Upper right hand number.
So that's a 7, so I would need to pay 3 from hand in the bravado, right?
Yep, correct. Because your expense on your leader is 4, right?
Yep, so just pitching a 3 cost in the bottom right?
Yep, you discard 3 bravado. Yep, you pitch a card with 3 or more.
I could do a 2 and a 1 as well, or no?
No, it'd have to be 1 card. You only discard 1 bravado per turn.
Okay, what's an intel action?
Intel action is an action you take during your turn, but before you do a mission.
Okay. All right. Oh, well, yeah, discarding this 3.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
All right, so that's good.
Okay.
So what's going to happen is that's completed then, if you have craft plus 5, which you do. So this is completed, so this would go to your little victory pile. So I'll put it on the side here. I'm just going to put this on the left for yours. Mine would be on the right. Put that on the left there for you. I don't have good visuals, so I'm just going to put this there. This will be your little victory pile there. Okay. So now at this point, you can continue the mission. You can continue to do a next mission, although the TN will be +1 difficulty for whatever you try to accomplish. If you choose to continue on to the next, to do another mission, basically. You don't get to change who's involved. You have to keep the exact same team as is, with all their conditions, whether you have anyone that are baffled or wounded, whatever they are. You have to keep the same people you have as they are to do the run on to the next mission with that +1 difficulty. However, me as a defender, I can throw a whole new team at you to try and defend whatever you jump onto for your next mission. If you want to do an extended run like this option.
So if I fail the next mission, would my agents maybe die, or how does that go?
No, so what happens is they would just, the way an agent dies in this game is if you are wounded twice, and wounding only comes from combat actions. So what would actually happen is the mission would fail, your agents would go back to your headquarters, but instead of you getting the victory points, I get the victory points.
Okay.
So it's literally, if someone runs a mission, it's literally going to be someone gets those victory points. It's just a question of who. That's it. Someone will get the victory points.
Yeah, let me go ahead and run on that one too.
Okay. So, I'm trying to remember now, one thing I don't remember is the order of. No, actually, I believe this is what it is. Okay. No, it's actually filled at the end, so it'd have to be this one. All right.
Okay. Now, I've got stuff about intel transport. Discard the first mission in the queue if it's not a chase mission. And then I've also got this intel charisma 4. Switch a mission in the queue with the top card of the mission deck. Like, when would that happen?
So, again, that would be before you do your mission, but during your turn. That's what an intel action is. It's any time during your turn as an action, but before you do an actual mission.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, I guess I'm just running on that mission.
Okay. And looking at this one, transport +5. I don't think. Okay. I don't have enough to bring someone out, and you can just knock me out of the way with your mission, your team, so I'm going to let it go unopposed.
All right. So, transport +5, you say?
Yep.
All right. So. And it has to be transport, though.
Yep, because that's what the requirement is. This is transport 5.
Okay, so I've only got transport 4. So is that something to be doing, or don't go on that mission?
Yeah, so if you don't have what you need, I actually would not extend the mission. I would just send it back after you got that first mission.
Okay, and there's no way that I can play actions from hand to get more transport?
No, and actually, we won't go back. I think I made a mistake here. You can meet difficulty numbers by discarding bravado like I had you do, with the exception on meeting mission requirements. I think that is the one exception where you can't discard bravado.
Okay.
You have to go with what you've actually got.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And nothing else flips over after you get rid of one mission, right?
Yeah. You don't refill this until the end of the turn.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Instead of going on that dummy mission, I'll just fall back. Okay.
Now, the other thing here to keep in mind is that if you do a mission, that is the last thing you do in a turn. Your turn, you forego any more actions for the rest of the turn.
Okay.
So that means that it goes back to me to do any more actions if I want to do any more. So I will, but they're just going to be mainly me just putting stuff on the board. So I'm going to say an agent. Then I'm going to say equipment, and I'm going to say an equipment, and that is it. I'm going to pass.
Yeah, but that was a 7-pointer I got, right?
Yep, it was 7 points. Yep.
All right.
Oh, no, actually, the other thing I'm going to do is also I'm going to brief my leader. I'm going to do a briefing action. So I'm going to put on here the number here. So I'm going to put on the 4. All right, so I'm going to do a briefing action as well. And that's it. So I'm going to pass. So I am not going to do anything else. We are good. And then that is the end of the turn. So basically now we have the debrief phase. So we're going to go ahead and refill the mission.
Oh, so what's the briefing action?
Oh, go ahead.
So what is the briefing action?
The briefing action is equal to the expense of your leader. You're going to put that much briefing points. I've got the term for it, but you're going to put that many points on your leader, and that's going to go towards getting your next leader. So So again, he has an expense of 4. I did a mission briefing, a briefing for getting my next leader. So I took 4 and put it onto my captain, onto my leader. So that's why in this game you really kind of want to optimize your turn, because you want to sort of do everything you want to do before you make that jump into running a mission. A lot of times you did jump the gun. It paid off for you that time. But just saying, let you know, a lot of times people like to build up a little bit on their turn, because again, if you do a mission run, that's it. You can't do anything else for the rest of the turn. You are done for the turn.
Okay. Ooh.
So it's kind of like playing chicken and timing things right.
Okay.
So the way this fills is you're going to go ahead and take the next non-revealed mission, reveal it face up, move it over, move these over, and put the next one face down. Like that. So it runs in a continual line. Like that.
Okay.
So the next one that came out is the final bullet. This is an intrigue mission, public, and combat plus force. This is a combat mission. Okay. So now we go ahead and look at the next, the debrief, sorry. Now the debrief says you draw 5 cards. So it doesn't matter, you always draw 5 cards at the end of the turn. So draw 5 cards. So I'm going to draw 5 cards. Okay. Okay. And then you discard down to 7.
Okay.
7. Yep. So if you have more than 7, after you do the debrief, you do need to discard down until you have 7 left. So, dang it. We got some high cost good ones. Oh, shoot. Okay. Oh, shoot. Well, I'm going to discard. Oh, shoot. Okay, I'm going to discard this agent. I can't afford him anytime soon, so I'm going to just discard him.
Vehicles are like allies in BetaEarth.
Yeah, no, they're like equipment in BetaEarth. You're gonna attach the equipment to the agents.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Oh, and then also remember your faction abilities. I forgot about that. I have a react. Oh, I couldn't have used mine anyway because I only had one target in the mission. Mine's the ability to redirect an action once per mission, but okay. I only had one person there, so couldn't have used it anyway.
Okay, mine is just Intel Crafts. Examine a mission in the queue. You may discard the mission. Right. Yeah. And you do that just when it's your turn before combat, right?
Yeah, before you do a mission run. Yep, before you do a mission phase. Yep. Oh my goodness. I could have brought the agent out last turn. I forgot about my Captain Eckhart's ability. He says, I have a +1 expense for activating agents. So he's effectively a 5, not a 4 when activating agents.
Oh,
so I actually could have brought out someone last turn. Oh well. That goes to show, read your cards.
Yeah, mine is all about scrying, looks like.
Cool.
Dang. So you can also bravado with agents, right?
Yes. So whenever you're trying to pay for a card, whether it's an equipment or an agent, you can discard a bravado. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Cool. All right. So let me know when you finished your debrief phase.
Yep,
I have
ready.
finished mine.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'd go to the next turn, and we just sort of rinse and repeat. So basically, now we look at every turn to see who goes first by looking at, again, the total craft on the table. I still have a 1. So unless things have changed, you go first again.
All right. Total craft on the table. I've got a 2 and a 3, so that's 5. Yeah.
Yep.
Right. And my leader is technically on the table, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. What's that first mission on the table?
All right. This one?
Which one is the first?
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
The left or right?
The left one would be the first one, right?
Yep, you're right. Okay. So, hunting the hunter. All right, let me get this to focus. There we go. So it's a chase, public, transport +5. It has 3 cover, 5 victory points. It does say the attacker is if you successfully perform 4 mission transport actions, you immediately win this mission. So it has a way for you to win regardless of your transport skill versus mine. As long as you do 4 mission transport actions, then you automatically win this.
Now, did I do transport last time or no?
You did 1 mission transport action last time, yes. So in other words, you want to do 4 of them to auto win. But that's usually going to be if you have a really big group. Usually you're not going to have anyone left after you do 4 mission actions anyway. But it's basically allows you to get rid of a really big group and still end up winning even if you don't have a huge number.
Okay, now what's that left mission do as well? I mean, the right mission?
Yeah, so this is Final Bullet. Sorry, okay, so this is going to be a cover of 3, 6 victory points. This is a intrigue mission, public, but to win it, it's combat +4. The attacker says after each time a non-exposed agent becomes exposed or baffled during the mission, that give that agent a bullet token and remove all other bullet tokens from the game. So this has its own special token in the game, a bullet token. And basically it's going to bounce around for every time you use the attacker. If you every time a non-exposed becomes exposed or baffled. Intrigue baffles someone. So in other words, if you do an intrigue action during this mission, you're going to give someone the bullet token. Now, the effect of that bullet token is the defender, after the attacker and defender passes consecutively, retire any agent with a bullet token. So it's going to be, whoever has that bullet token is going to be retired, aka killed. They're going to be, off the table. Whoever has a bullet token at the end of this mission. And again, it's from the defender. So if you go for the mission, it's going to be, again, something possibly on me as the defender, or vice versa if I go for it and you defend. So it creates that bullet token.
Okay.
AKA the final bullet.
Now, and that cover means what again?
So cover means that if someone does a combat action, then instead of whatever your combat value is, you can instead use the cover value for your defense rather than your combat stat.
Okay, so cover +4. Well, I mean, combat +4 means that you have to reach just 4 for the combat value?
What that means is to complete the mission, you have to have combat higher than my combat value.
Okay. So what's your combat? Well, I mean, you've only got the one. You've got the one guy on field and 2 possible.
Yeah. So we don't know yet. you won't know until we actually get to you seeing who I bring in to defend if you go for the mission versus who you bring in.
Okay, second mission is combat +4, and the first mission is what again?
Is transport +5.
Golly, okay. That's 4 + 5.
Hey, it's spies, man. It's not meant to be easy.
Transport +5, and I've already done one transport run, so
Yep. But I recommend building up before you just head on a mission because it worked that time, but it's that I wasn't expecting that. I'm more prepared this time as your opponent, so.
Oh yeah. All right. Oh crap! I should have got rid of her. All right. Right there.
So, and if you want a reminder, if you look in the back of the rulebook, it should have a list of your actions you can take every turn as a reminder, in case you're forgetting.
Oh yeah, that's an agent.
Yep.
But you can do more than one thing on a turn, or like
yes, correct. The only exception is when you do a mission run. Usually, people just do one mission to close out their turn. Usually, but normally you're going to do. Oh well, actually, the one that's the exception universally is you can only brief once per turn. So that is the once per turn limit period, and removing a mission once per turn. Those are limited to once per turn. But everything else you can do multiple times in a turn. I will say this game, your leaders are key. So if you haven't done a briefing action, I would definitely do a briefing action. Try and build up to getting your next leader out.
Okay, so I can brief right now, right?
Yes, you could. Yep, you can do that as an action. Yep.
All right, and why would I not do that?
I don't know why you wouldn't do that. It's sort of the one action that's an auto include for every player's turn every turn. I don't know why you wouldn't ever do that.
All right, so I'll brief and then take myself up to that top right value is the what's that?
Yeah,
value?
Equal to your expense value, which okay. Top right is the expense number.
All right, yeah, add briefing value and then all right.
Yeah, so that would be your action. Then it would pass to me to do something.
Oh, I thought that I played the guy face down, right? Wasn't that my action?
Oh, you did do that? Okay, I need to do something then. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to put agent down here. Sorry. So now go ahead and do that briefing action. I didn't see that initially. I apologize.
Okay.
Okay. And then since you did a brief, I'm going to go back. It goes back to me. I'm going to go ahead and brief mine. So that puts another 3, takes up to 7, which does activate my next leader. She costs 7. So Eckhart will go down here as just a regular agent now.
Oh, if I've met the threshold of okay, but you can only brief once per round or what? Well, once per turn, right?
Once per turn. Yep.
Okay. So like, if I'm at 4 plus a 4 expense, and then say that my level 2 is an 8, do I get to flip now, or is it just a 4 for briefing, or?
Once you meet that, it's like what I just did. I briefed for 4, and my next one cost 7, and I went from 4 to 8. So I immediately got the new leader and moved my old leader to the regular agents.
Okay, so again, I got the 4 expense. I got 4 briefed on them. So now this one is a 7. So I get to bring the 7 leader out now?
Not till you actually brief for your at least 7 worth. You only briefed once, right?
Yeah. Oh, so I should have briefed the last turn as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was surprised you went right away for the mission. I was like,
Gotcha. Okay. Right. Yep. And then you briefed on that one, and then it's back to
Yep.
me.
Yep. It's back to you. Yep.
Okay.
Back to you.
And then you say when you're doing the bravado to pay, you can do that how many times?
Oh, you can discard one card for each expense you're trying to pay for, but you can do that multiple times in a turn. So if you have 2 cards, you could do it once for each expense that you're trying to pay for.
Okay.
But again, you don't have to pay the expense until the card's revealed. So.
And then, so, like, say that you want to play for 3 face-down cards, but you have a base expense of 4. So once you spend that 4 on the first card, do you still have the 4 base expense to pay for the second and third card as well?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Think of your leader's expense as a threshold for how much you can bring a card in for.
Okay. All right, play a card. That's
okay. I'm assuming that's another agent you were declaring?
Yeah, that's an agent.
Okay. All right.
Now, when you're doing the gear, like, wouldn't it be kind of smart if you're trying to bluff to not play the gear on the agents, or?
Well, no, because because you can't play an agent before a mission run anyway. You have to put it on the agent. You can't just throw it on mid-mission.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, like, what if you just want to bluff, though, and then you put gear on a gear, then what happens?
Then you basically, if you put gear on a gear and then you're forced to actually reveal the card that is just a gear, and when you need an agent, for example, then you would discard both cards.
Okay.
But again, there's very few cards that force you to have to reveal something. Like I said, the Snoop allows you to look at a face-down card. It doesn't force you to reveal it. So you can sort of get an inside look on what your opponent is planning. There's very few cards that force you to reveal something. So usually it's going to sit there until you want to pay for it. And if you do a bluff, it's just going to be there for a bluff purpose for most of the game.
Okay. All right. So back on you, right?
Oh yeah. So I'm going to say equipment, and I'm going to put under this agent here. Come on. There we go. Alrighty. So it's back to you.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry, and I forgot to mention one thing really quick. I'm sorry. So the expense of your leader limits the expense that you can pay for your agents. However, if you're able to bring out like an agent that costs like 3 more than your leader, and you have equipment that is equal to your agent cost, you can bring out the equipment because the equipment is going to be limited by the agent they're attached to, not your leader. Does that make sense? I apologize, I didn't clarify that. So if you have a 9-cost agent and your leader is a 4-cost, for example, and you can successfully pay and get the 9-cost agent out, then all the equipment that's on them, if it's 9 or less, will be paid by the agent. You won't have to worry about paying more to get them out. Does that make sense?
So my leader is a 4. And then
So
say that my agent were a 5. And then I'm trying to play a 9-cost gear. Could I do that?
Yeah, and the cost to play the gear would be based off the agent that you're revealing, not the leader. So you'd have to pay 4 more, not 5 more in that scenario, because your agent would be a 5 cost that's in play when you're trying to reveal the gear, and you'd be going off the agent cost for the gear, not the leader. So think of this as the leader cap is saying this is your agent max cost, not your gear max cost. Your gear max cost that you can bring into play is depend on the agent that they're attached to.
Alright, doing it like this. Okay. Alright, I just played a gear, and that was... I just played a gear, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay. For my action, I'm going to discard the far left mission. I'm going to do that because I don't like your high transport. So I'm going to get rid of this.
Would this ever be effective anymore? How many transport runs I've done so far? Or?
No, that doesn't. It's not important anymore how many runs you've done. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, maybe if I could get it from the graveyard, maybe.
Oh, if there was a way to get it from the graveyard, yeah. But anyway, so I discarded that for an action. When you do this is the one time that it does refill as soon as you take out a mission, is if you do the eliminate before a actual mission run. Okay. So we're going to change this right away since I did my action to just get rid of a mission. So this is going to slide over, reveal the next one. These slide over, and we add a new one to the we add a new one to the line. There we go. So what I've changed out is the new one we have is recover the antivirus. So this is now, it's another chase one. You lucky dog. It's another chase one. Nice. Public combat +4. And then it says that if you're the attacker and you win the mission, you can remove a wound from each of your agents. And your agents can perform a mission craft 7 to wound an unwounded opposing agent. So you can use a mission since it provides an inherent mission combat 7 mission action within this mission. Is what that one does. And it goes off of combat for getting the mission. But it's a chase mission. So you can use chase actions to try and get rid of people. In addition to that, wound somebody.
Okay, chase is transport, right?
Yeah, the text is chase. Correct. Yep.
Alright, and again with that that cover one, which one is that one?
Oh, sorry. So this one has a 3 cover.
Okay, I meant that the first mission that one is what type of mission again?
Oh, this one's a 3.
Okay, and it's an intrigue, okay.
Yep, intrigue. So you have an intrigue on the left and a chase mission on the right. Okay. But it's back to you, because that was my action, eliminating a mission from the queue. Okay. Play an agent. Alright. And then I am going to do... I'm going to do a snoop action here from the inherent missions you can do. The top 3 are only when you're in a mission. The bottom one is just an intel action. So I'm going to do Intel Craft 4, and that allows me to examine a face-down card. So I'm going to go ahead and... I do have to discard a card to make it, though, because I only have a 3 craft total. Actually, I'm sorry, you have an agent do the card effect, sorry. So I have to target 1 agent, sorry. So she has a 2, so I have to discard a 2 or more. So I'm going to discard this card that has a bravado of 2, so I can make the TN of 4. So I'm going to look at your face down card, the one that's got the equipment that's on the agent. I want to see what that equipment is. Oh, services SUV. Ooh. Okay, cool. All right, I'm good. You can put that back down. All right, that was my action. Goes back to you.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and make a run on that transport mission.
All right, on top. All right.
The transport one is the one to the right, right?
No, this. Oh, sorry, the chase mission. Sorry, yeah, I was thinking of the wrong thing. You're right. Okay. Okay. So you're gonna do that. So you're gonna, as the attacker, since you're running the mission, you're gonna tell me again who you're all bringing. You don't have to reveal them. You just have to tell me which ones are going.
Yeah, swinging with the team. Best to swing with the team, right?
Yep. So all 4 plus the leader.
Yep.
Okay. So
this stays revealed, right?
What?
This stays revealed once it's been revealed?
Yes. Oh, no. It doesn't. I just got to peek at it. It stays face down until you actually decide to bring it into play. Okay, so I need to decide if I'm going to oppose. I got to see what I've got because I may not be able to. Let's see. No, that one I can.
Since this guy survived from last round, it would still be face up, right?
Yes. If there's anything you're actually revealing on your end, you're paying for and revealing, then yeah, it stays face up. Correct.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to bring my leader in, and I'm going to bring in these guys to oppose as well. So I'm bringing in the team too. Let's see how well this goes for all of us. Woohoo!
Right.
Alrighty. So now we've started a mission. You get the first action. So again, this is a chase mission. So it does have the inherent evade action, using transport to knock someone out. Also, as the attacker, actually as a defender, we have the same. Oh, if you win the mission, sorry. So this only happens if we win the mission. So whoever wins the mission gets to do that effect.
Gets to knock somebody out?
Yeah, so we're actually doing the normal action right now, which is the evade. Yeah, so you get to go ahead and try to put someone out of the mission.
Okay. Okay, so I could just target a face down guy, right?
Yeah, you'll be blind doing it, but you can.
Okay, or I could just do your leader or the one that's face up.
Yeah, correct. Yep. There's 3 face downs and then 2 face up agents.
So how much transport do you have on the? Oh, that one the former leader has gear on it, right?
So all my face down ones have gear. My leader does not. Neither does Eckhart. They have no gear. Those 2, but these 3 have gear.
All right. So what's the transport values on the 2 face up ones?
2 for him and 2 for Backlash. So they both have 2.
And what are their powers again?
So Captain Eckhart's ability doesn't mean anything now because I'm not actually activating agents under him, so it's just treat that as blank. But Backlash is a react to combat X during the intel phase after an agent targets one of your agents, so it's not the intel phase, so it doesn't apply.
Okay.
It doesn't apply. Not intel phase, we're on mission phase now, so none of their effects apply.
All right, so just basically what I'm doing right now is I'm doing the evade. So as long as I have more transport than you, I can knock Backlash out.
As long as the agent that you're targeting the other agent with has more. So it's an agent-on-agent basis. You don't do a grand total. It's just one-on-one for comparing the stats for the evade action.
And then the guy that's doing the evade, they still get to go on the mission, though, right?
Yes, correct. Yep.
Okay. But I would have to reveal beforehand, right?
Yes. If you want to use someone who's concealed, you'd have to reveal them and pay for them, yes.
Okay, now, if I just did my leader, which is a 3 transport on Backlash's 2, I could just knock her out, right?
Yep.
But if you've got actions, you can mess that up, though, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, and you've got how many in hand?
I've got 4 cards in hand.
Okay.
I will tell you this. It's very hard to mess with the TN number in this game. It's actually really hard. There's not a lot of cards that change the TN number on a game. So you're generally speaking pretty safe on assuming a TN is what it is for most scenarios, for most situations.
All right, I'll take your word for it and go for a clean sweep on Blacklash. 3 on a 2.
All right, and
for the evade.
All right, so that works. Yeah, I don't have any way to raise the TN on that, so she goes back to headquarters. Now you do want to mark this because every H agent can only do the inherent mission action once per mission. So he's done his evade action. So you'd want to mark or put a token or something on him or tap him, whatever, to show that he's already done his evade action for the mission.
Okay, so everybody can just do the evade.
Yes, but again, they have to meet the target. You have to beat the TN for each person trying to do it. So yeah.
Okay, so I just did the evade action. Is it back to me or just go?
It's back to me. We switch off.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do this. Okay. Okay. Let me look at my agents here. So I gotta see if there's somebody. No, that would not be a good one to bring out. Let me see here. Nope, not for that. I think I want to bring out this one. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and reveal him, Tito. He's going to do an evade action. And so it costs an 8. I have a 7 expense with my leader, so I do need to bravado for at least 1. So I will discard my H and Kim. This has a bravado of 2. So I will discard that, and that will pay for my agent. So I will also reveal the equipment he has. He costs 8, so my equipment will automatically be able to be paid for because, again, equipment is off of the agent they're attached to, not the leader. So he's an 8, that's an 8, I paid for it without bravado. So he gets revealed with that. So I'm going to do an evade action to... who is your non-leader that's revealed? What is his transport?
I got a 1 transport.
Oh. Okay, so I'm going to... Man, I got to figure this out. Okay, 2. That's 5. Oh, this is so hard. Okay, I will target your leader with Tito.
Okay.
I have a total of 5 transport. I'll do the evade action on him.
Alright, so I've got a 3 on my leader, so...
Yep, so he's got a 2, but he's got a +3 from the luxury sports car. So he's got a 5 total.
So pretty much nothing I can do but play actions from hand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta get bumped back.
Alrighty, cool.
Right, back on me. So you got 3 guys in the fight, and then 3 guys in the fight. I got 4.
I've got 4. I also have a Captain Eckhart still.
Okay.
So I've got these 2 hidden agents, and then Tito that was revealed, and Eckhart as well. So I've got 4 in the fight still.
And then your leader's transport is what too, as well?
My leader's back, so he's not there. You mean the Captain Eckhart, the old leader? He has a transport of 2.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so and Tito has a 5.
5
5.
right
Okay,
now.
yeah. That's 5.
And then his card does give him an effect. I need to let you know he has a React Transport 9. So if I can make a 9 TN, then I can actually react and cancel any transport action that's targeting him. But I have to meet the 9 TN. But if I can make it, I can just automatically negate a transport action. So if we try to evade him with that transport action, then he can negate it, possibly.
If you can reach a 9.
Yeah, if I can reach the 9, yeah.
By
so again, that's... Yeah.
Okay, so
it does require a
4?
4 at this point. I would have to have a Bravado card of 4 in my hand to make that.
With the miss. Alright, 2. Alright, I'm gonna evade with Borya Grig. So that's a 7 drop.
Yep.
With the 4 transport. No. 6 transport.
Holy crap.
And then to pay for Borya, I've got a 4 on my leader, so I'll go ahead and pitch a 3.
Okay.
Which will be first aid kit.
Cool. Alrighty.
And then that pays for my equipment, which is a 7, the Secret Service SUV. Which you already saw that one.
Yeah, so, I saw it, yep.
Yep, and then that just grants me a +1 on the transport. Mission Transport X. Send an opposing agent to his HQ. The TN is the target's transport plus craft. Okay. Yeah, so it sounds kind of confusing, but alright.
Yeah, so basically it allows you to do a evade action essentially on any mission. So it's actually going to be better to do a standard evade action, rather than use that ability. Yeah. It's going to be easier to evade on a standard evade right now.
Okay, so I've got a 6, 7 on, and then you can still bravado with anything. Can you No, I mean you can't bravado. You can just action card to get rid of stuff. Okay.
Yeah. So again, you can use discard bravado to meet an action TN. You can't discard bravado to up a TN. There's no cards allow you to do that. It's not in the rules. So I don't have a way to up the TN right now.
Okay. So I'll go 7 transport evade on your rightmost card.
All right.
Rightmost, yeah.
So I got to reveal it. She costs 6. She's 7, so I can pay for her, and then let me see if I want to reveal this equipment just yet. No, it's a transport action you're doing on me, so I'm not going to reveal the equipment because there's no point at this point. All right, so her transport is 2.
2.
Yeah. So what was your total? I think it was a 7.
Yeah, 7.
Yeah. Okay. I can't change that. All right. So she's going to go back to the headquarters. Okay.
Okay, and the gear goes as well. The gear goes to. Okay, the gear stays attached.
Yeah. The gear is always going to stay with the agent.
Okay. So yeah, that would only make sense. Okay.
Yeah. So I forgot to actually put a little marker. I use these stones. I forgot to put a marker that shows that you did a transport action this turn.
Okay.
Already. Okay. So you did your evade action. Yeah, Maya sent back. So now I got to figure out what I'm doing. Oh boy. Let me see a second. Ooh, okay. I am going to use Captain Eckhart to try and knock your revealed guy that's not the super biker.
Okay. All right.
He's got a 1. I have a 2 transport. So I'm going to assume that you don't have a TN modifying card in your hand. So I'm going to just leave it at that for the attempt.
All right. Yep. I'll let you go get evaded.
Cool. All right. And so I mark that. All right. It is your turn.
And so, all right. Now you've got 2 in hand still, right?
3 cards in hand.
3 in hand. All right. Yeah, I'll go ahead and evade 4. Yep, I'll evade with Carl. Carl is just a simple 3 drop, so I guess that's free, right?
Yep, because you have your agent out who's a 4, right? I mean, your leader's a 4, so yeah.
Yep. All right, so Carl has a 4 transport, which I'll try to go for the evade action on your captain.
Oh boy. Okay. And I don't have a TN modifier, so we're done. All right. He goes back.
Okay.
And now it's back to me. Ooh, actually, I can do this. Yeah, okay. Okay, so I actually have a card here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Alright, so I'm going to do a card that allows me to break a rule, but it's cool, right? So I'm going to try to do, now if you ever try to do an action that you are limited to doing once and you try to do it, it just negates the action. I have a card that reacts to that game mechanic called Tricks of the Trade. So I'm going to try and do another evade action with him. So again, normally I've done it once already, so that would just negate it normally. But I'm going to play a reaction to that with Tricks of the Trade. So before, and it's React Charisma 5, so I have to meet this to play the card. I have a Charisma 4 plus 4 there, plus 1 from the Luxury Sports Car, so there's a 5. So he has 5 Charisma, so he meets the Tricks of the Trade. So I can do the transport action. I can do the evade action again this turn with him. This 1 extra time. So that's what this allows you to do, is do an action you normally can only do once to do it again. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do the evade on your transport 4 guy that just took out my guy.
Okay, so that's 5 on a 4.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I got to take. All right, bounce back. Out of there. On me.
Yep, back to you.
Alright, so I got this mission transport X. Send an opposing agent to his HQ. The TN is the target's transport plus craft.
Oh, so actually that would allow you to do what I did, a little more costly with that effect, but still essentially the same thing I did, where you got to do another action again. So it's effectively doing an evade action again. It's a little more costly because you have to have a higher TN than the normal TN for it, but you could do it.
The target's transport plus craft. Oh, so now you've got 2 in hand naturally, right?
Yeah, I got 2 cards in my hand right now. Yep.
Okay, so the target's... Oh, okay, so the cost is I've got to pay that much TN.
So basically, it's saying that the TN is going to be 2 numbers instead of 1 to make that action work. So okay. It's going to be instead of just transport versus transport, it's going to be transport versus transport plus the other stat of the target. So okay. What were the 2 things in transport and what was the other one?
Transport and craft. Yeah, so what's your guys... Tito's transport and craft is how much?
Yeah, so his transport is 5 right now, and his craft is 4, so he's a 9 difficulty.
Okay. Alright, so if I fail with this mission transport X, what happens?
Nothing. You would just... nothing would happen. But again, Tito has that 1 card on him where he can react to a transport action and cancel automatically. So I would... I'd probably say going after the hidden one is a better shot than him, because he's got a possible counter automatically on him to a transport action. But if you want to try it, you could. I'm just saying strategically it makes more sense to go after this guy than Tito with that action.
Yeah, let's try to do that mission transport X. Send an opposing agent to his HQ. The TN is the target's transport plus craft.
Alright, so you're going to go after the hidden one?
Yeah, the hidden one.
Okay, so it gets revealed. Whoops. Okay, so she is a 9, so I do have to discard a 2 cost bravado at least to pay for. So I will discard this 3 cost bravado. So... and then I'm not going to reveal her equipment because it's not applicable in this scenario. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that hidden. Okay, so her transport is 1 and her craft is 6, so it's a 7. It's a 7 difficulty.
Okay, so I've got 7 as well, so how does that work?
So you have to beat it. So the target number is a beat. So you'd have to discard another card to exceed that difficulty number.
Oh. Okay. So you can discard to beat, but not to meet, you say?
So you can't discard to up a difficulty number. So if you're going at me, I can't discard a card to up that difficulty number. Okay. But you, as the one initiating the action to try and meet a TN, you can discard a number to meet that TN target.
Okay.
So in other words, I can't... So the difficulty is 7 with her. 7, yeah. So I can't discard a card and say, oh, I'm going to add bravado of 4 and make that difficulty suddenly 4 more. I can't do that as the defender. You as the attacker on the mission, you as the one doing the action, I should say, you, however, can discard to up your set value right now to try and get higher than 7.
Okay. Alright, I'll discard this 3 right here, bravado. And then, yeah. So, alright, so I guess that's a really dirty evade I just did, or?
Yeah. But it works. So your total was 10 then, right? 7 plus 3?
Yep.
Okay, yep. So that beats the 7 TN, so she goes back to headquarters, yep.
Okay. Then I guess back on you, but you've already done all your evades, right? Or you can do action cards, okay.
Yeah, unless you have other mission actions you can do from people, what they have in their play or in your hand. I, however, don't have anything else to do. I'm going to have to pass. I don't have any other mission actions that I can do.
Okay, so with me, I'll go ahead and pay for my ally. Well, I mean for my agent.
Agent.
Then okay, that's 8.
Woo! He's an 8, huh? Okay.
I don't even know how this really happened, but okay, I got a 4. I don't know what the crap happened here. So I beat that one. Okay, yeah, I'm tripping. Okay, thought I just dissed the other 3. I thought I had 2 3s in hand, but I did right.
Oh.
Okay. Got a 4 right there.
Okay, cool.
The advanced team. Pay for the Dmitry Korpov, and then I guess back to you. You've already passed once you passed. You're out, right?
Yep.
Okay. So
well, no. Actually, no. If you pass, you can go back if the other one doesn't pass.
Okay.
So I would pass again.
Okay. So then I'll just go ahead and
you would pass if you're done, and then we would add numbers.
Okay. So like it's already been established. It's a transport fight, right?
It's a transport with combat for winning the mission, but the actions themselves are transport.
Okay, yeah. So all right, I got transport 7, 8, 9 going in.
Okay, you got 9. My transport is 5. My transport is 5.
So I needed a +4, right?
Well, no. Okay, so the actions were chase, but to complete the mission is combat +4. So we're actually comparing combat numbers for seeing if you win the mission. So you actually get combat. That's going to be easy because my combat is 0.
Wow, I lucked out because I got exactly 4.
Oh, good job, my friend. Good job.
That is crazy. All right, so just to explain this to me again in layman's terms. Okay, I was thinking that was a transport fight the whole time, but it's actually a combat fight. Show that card again.
Okay, yeah, I'll show you. Okay, so again, to understand the anatomy of a card here. So this is telling you what actions you can do for mission actions with those inherent mission actions. And so that's labeled as a type of mission with a keyword. So chase, again, tells you can do those evade actions inherently. All your agents can do one evade action during the mission.
Yeah, I mean, do you think they just follow Netrunner with the stupid thing of like having 2 names for everything? I hate that.
Oh, well, no, it makes sense to me because you're telling you what you can do on the mission, but then you have something that tells you what you need to complete it, which are not always the same. If you think about real life, sometimes you have to do something different to get a mission done that may seem counterproductive to the mission. So I think that brings a lot of flavor to the game.
Okay.
So.
Okay. All right. So basically, I'm doing free chase actions, which is the evade. Doing free evades, but it's a combat mission though.
Well, again, think of it this way: the type of mission is chase, but to complete the mission, you need to have combat skill to complete the mission. So this is the type of mission. That's what you need to complete the mission.
Okay, type of mission is the front, and then the back is what you need to complete the mission.
Correct, yes.
Okay, gotcha. And then public and private, what's that about?
That is, if we started shooting bullets at people in public, then that is going to cause people to be exposed. Your agent would become exposed.
Okay, cool. All right, yeah, so just looked out with 4 combat.
Yep. Well, good job. So I wasn't able to stop you. So Tito goes back. My HQ. Removing all the counters that were there on my agents up to this point. And then, so you get this. You get recover the antivirus. Oh, actually, you forgot to do this, buddy. So it says if you win, which you did, you can remove a... Oh, okay. And then, so you could remove a wound. No one was wounded. And then your agents can perform a mission combat 7 to wound an unwounded opposing agent. What was your total 7? Oh, you had 4.
Yeah.
So never mind.
Okay, mission combat 7. Okay.
Yeah, so you needed 7 to get the extra effect, which you didn't have anyway. So
Okay.
anyway, so that's 7 plus 4, so you are over halfway. You're at 11 victory points.
11.
Now, did you want to continue with that team to do extend the mission? So the term is extending the mission. So did you want to extend the mission or call it quits for this your mission run this turn?
And let me see that card again. That's the final bullet.
Yep. Sorry, one sec.
Yeah.
Focus. There we go.
All right, intrigue, public, and combat. So I need combat 4, which is just enough. But the intrigue is you get to do an intrigue action with no guys out. Oh, you get to bring a whole new team.
Yep, that's the danger. It's going to be definitely by inherently more difficult if you extend the mission.
Okay. Nah, let's just call it there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that then by inherently, since you ran the mission, and that was the last of your actions for the turn. So it goes back to me, and I am going to play an agent face down. All right.
This is a whole new deal, right?
Yep.
Did we put another mission out there?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I say, did we put another mission out there first, or?
Oh, no. Because, again, you finished your actions. Oh, wait, no, you're right. Yeah, we did finish the mission. Sorry. So, yeah, we would replace that right away since you did finish the mission run. Okay. So, this is revealed. So, the new one, I don't know what is it. They get a bunch of transport. Okay, so this is a chase mission, so you get the evade, and it's looking for transport to complete. And so the attacker says you may not assign more than 3 agents to the mission, and the defender cannot assign more than 4 to the mission.
Okay.
All right. And, of course, we continue to fill. There we go. So those are the missions. And that one's called Air Chase over Nice. N-I-C-E. I guess you pronounce it Nice.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the name of the country, but I think it's Nice.
Okay.
All right. So now we do the debrief. So we're going to draw 5 cards and then discard down to 7 if you have more than 5. I mean, more than 7.
Okay, now you get to, and then you got to play that card from hand, though, right? Because once the mission is done, then you get to still play more cards, or?
Yeah, so if you do a mission, it's the last action you take in the round, but the opponent can still do actions because he didn't do the mission.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
But I'm done. The only other thing I did was play another agent face down. That's it. So I'm done. All right. Oh, and if your deck ever runs out, you just reshuffle your discard pile and form a new draw deck. So just you're aware of that.
Good.
Okay.
And it's still going with who has the most craft first?
Yep, correct. Yeah, but now we need to add all the numbers because we have a bunch of agents out, all of us. So we got to do some addition. So 4, 5, 6, 12, 13. All right, I have 15 craft.
I got 12 craft.
All right, so I will do the first action, and I am going to discard the air chase over Nice. I'm going to do that as the first thing the turn. Because I don't like you having all that transport, man. Okay, right. So this gets filled up. This goes here.
Man, you know what? Yeah, so I don't have to keep on asking you a million times. I could just pull out mine for reference, yeah.
Yes, that's true, actually, yeah. And if you don't have it, I'll bring it up. But so for the streaming purposes, it actually would help to have those cards to look at as well on your side. I just realized that. Yep.
Yeah, I don't have that other one, the first one. But yeah, I got the safe house though.
The final bullet, yeah, that's from an expansion. So I will reference that, but you do have the safe house tussle, right?
Yep.
Okay. have that as a reference if you need it. Okay. So that was my first action, so it is now your action. And there is the safe house tussle. Yep.
Fight public. Okay, so who's the fight? This is combat. And then, okay, so this is fight and combat. This is the same type of thing the whole way.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, cover 5. This is public. In the attacker, your agents may perform the following. React. After this agent retires an opposing leader, reduce this mission's objective by 4.
So, in other words, the more people you retire, the easier it is to complete the mission.
Okay. And then for the defender, your agents may perform the following. React. After the agent retires an opposing leader, increase this mission's objective by 4. Okay.
So I'm increasing making it harder for when I retire as the defender.
Okay. Alright. Guess I'll start off by briefing to get 4. Then I'll go to level 2, which is Jessica Styles, which is a 7. So do I retain 1 briefing on Jessica?
No, you don't retain the briefing. You all clear.
Okay.
Yep.
Right.
But your old leader will now join your regular agents as a regular agent.
Okay. And yeah, so that one is the Crypt Fixer, React Craft X. After an agent declares a react to an action by one of your agents, cancel the react. The TN is the reacting agent's craft.
Oh, that's mean. Oh, man.
Okay. The TN stands for what again?
Target number. That's the difficulty number you've got to beat.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Just think of it as target number,
okay.
Which you got to beat. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I reacted, so I guess back on you. Well, I mean, I briefed, so yeah.
Yep. So I am also going to brief. So there's that. It goes back to you.
Okay. Fight 2. Okay, now fight is associated with combat, right? Well, yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, but why does it say used in fight missions? Okay.
Yep.
Combat. Okay, so this says, I'll just read for the people. Combat, shoot, used in fight missions. Mission Combat X. If this is a fight mission, wound an opposing agent. If this is a public mission, then expose this agent. The TN, the target number, is the target's combat or his cover, whichever is greater. Combat or cover. Okay. And what are the combat values of your guys?
So my leader has 4. Then everyone else is pretty low. I've got a 2 on Maya, a 0 on everybody else. So I don't specialize in combat. I specialize in other stuff. So I only have my leader has a 4 and Maya has a 2. Everyone else has 0.
And your leader has a 4, you say, right?
Yes, correct.
And you can... Okay, the attacker can pay bravado.
So if you're trying to meet this difficulty of an action from a game effect or a card, then yeah, you as the one trying to meet that difficulty number, trying to meet that, can discard a card to add. Yes.
Okay. Check out more cards.
Or trying to exceed, I should say. Sorry. Technically, you're beating the TN, not meeting it. Sorry.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and swing on that safe house tussle with safe house tussle. Let's go. You're in the fight. You're in the fight. Okay, so you would get the first action, or would me as the attacker, I would get the first action?
You'll get the first action, yes.
Okay. Okay, so once you're wounded, does that take you out of the fight, or?
So if you're wounded, what happens is, if you're wounded twice, then you are dead. If you're wounded once, you're permanently -2 to all your attributes.
Okay. Yeah, this is crazy. You've got 4 guys out there, possible?
I have a total of, I can bring in a full complement of 5, so 4 plus my leader.
That one to the right, that's a guy, right? That's an agent, huh?
Yes.
Ugh, man. All right, let's just dang it, 1. Yeah, let's put 5 out there. Man, and you can always, well, I mean, if you're the leader, man, yeah, hate that part about it. Okay. Let's see if I can put you out there and I discard the first.
I should have played one of my action cards instead of what I did, because I should have figured you'd jump on doing the mission sooner than I expected.
Oh, yeah. That's my game plan. That's my game plan. Okay, so again, I can always pitch a card to make my leader reach somebody else's combat value if I'm the attacker.
So if you're trying to beat that number, you can discard a card. Yeah. So again, think of it this way: if you're trying to meet an action, unless you're trying to meet the actual mission accomplishment number, then you can always discard a card to try and beat that TN.
Okay.
You just cannot up the TN number itself by doing the same bravado discard. You can't do that, but yeah. If you think you've got the combat worth to take that mission, then say go for it. If you think you've got the combat to do it. Again, I only have a 4 and a 2 and the rest are zeros, so I don't have a lot of combat inherently. So you probably have a pretty good chance.
Man, alright, fight, shoot you if this is a fight mission, wound and pull the agent. All right, yeah, screw it. Let's put you out there too. All right, 6 guys coming.
Sorry, how many do you have?
Oh, 6 of them. 6.
Yeah, so you have a max of 5 total. That's okay, 4 5. Plus the leader.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
5.
I think so. I think that's right. I may be off by 1. Like I said, it's been a few months since I played this with my friend, okay. So I could be off by that. But that's what I remember. Actually, I might have a note from my own leader, because my own leader has a here. Notice there's 1 additional, so that doesn't answer the question. So. Let me look, see if I'm pretty sure. If I look at max here. Okay. Okay, let's see. Oh. Okay. All right, I'm going to find it just to be sure, because I figured out.
Okay, run a mission. Okay. So,
yeah.
After you run a mission, the 2 rules make your choice. Run a mission is important. Okay, the attacker declares which agents will go on the mission. The mission team may include your leader, but must include at least one agent or leader. You may include inactive agents on your mission team, but you may not include more than 5 agents, active or inactive, plus your leader.
Oh, so it is 6 total. Yeah, so it's 5 plus the leader. Sorry, I was off by 1. Yep.
All right, yeah, screw it. I'll put you out.
Oh boy, goodness, man. Wow. Okay. Oh, this is really scary because I want to stop you. But man. Oh, that's scary. Okay. I'm going to let that go unopposed, actually.
Unopposed? Unopposed? Yep. Damn opposed. Damn opposed. Damn opposed. All right.
I can't... I'm outclassed on pure combat right now. Well, let me double check. Sorry. What are your combat values before I decide on that? Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, mine's are pretty low too. So I got a 2, a 3, a 2, a 1, and a 1.
That's still collectively much more than me. I have 3 of my 5 are average 0s for combat. Shoot. Yeah, you do a lot of damage if I went in. So yeah, I am gonna just let you have that mission. I can't risk it.
I'll take it. All right. So let's see, 5. So that's like 16 now. Yeah, 16 of 21.
It was. Oh, whoops. Sorry. Let me put that up. Sorry, safe house levels. Okay. 7. Yeah, 16. Yep. Okay.
Sweet.
So now you gotta decide if you want to extend the mission.
And how many points is that one? The final bullet? 4?
5.
5?
Oh, sorry, 6.
6.
Because you only need 4 more to win, so it's definitely a win you the game.
Wow. And it's what kind of mission is that one?
It's an intrigue mission with combat plus 4 to win it.
Well, I mean, you say combat plus 4. Intrigue. Okay, intrigue is charisma. So charisma. Yep. And I could actually go back to the... I can't do another mission this round, but we wouldn't... After somebody finishes a mission, we go back through the whole setup phase and everything again, right?
So once you complete the mission, then you'll be done with actions for the rest of the round, and I can still do actions on my end, because I did not run the mission.
Okay, what are your charisma values you got out there?
That's where I specialize. That's my high. I've got 3, 5, 5, 2, and 2. So nothing lower than a 2. And my average is more like 4 or 5 on my characters.
So 3, 5, 5, 2, and a 2?
So I got a 3, 5, 5, 2, 2. Yeah, 3, 5, 5, 2, 2.
So what's that, 17 or 3, 5, 5, 2? Sounds like 17.
Yeah.
All right, 17 on my 2, 7, 9, 12.
Yeah. But again, the intrigue is just simply saying what actions we can do so that you're not looking at totals for that. You're just looking at, again, do you think you can hit people with intrigue actions multiple times if you run on the mission?
All right, intrigue, which is baffle, used in intrigue missions. Mission Charisma X. If this is an intrigue mission, target an opposing agent until the end of the mission. The target's skills are 0, and the agent is considered exposed. The target number is the target's charisma.
Yep. So it's a charisma versus charisma check, and the loser has their stats reduced to 0 till the end of the mission, and they're considered exposed.
Okay, but me as the offender, I can go ahead and pay bravado to reach your charisma.
No. Again, if you are trying to beat a number as the one initiating the action, so you're trying to do the action. If you're trying to do the action, you can discard bravado to try and beat the TN. If you're the one that's the target of an action, then the only thing saving is a TN that is a set number based on an equation from, like we read from the card just now. So unless you have some card that says raise the TN, then the TN is set. You, as the one being targeted by the action, can't do anything about that TN number, but if you have a react to the being targeted, you can do those reactions, but you can't adjust that TN number by using bravado if you're the target of an action.
Okay. Yeah, I wish they would put that on the reference card, like a simple way to.
Yeah. So basically, the easiest way to think of it is, if you're the target of an action, you can't adjust numbers with bravado. If you are the one initiating the action against someone, you can adjust the number with bravado.
Okay. Yeah, I really just need to write that down. But yeah.
Okay.
But I'll do that. Really gonna end up forgetting to write that down is what I'm gonna do. But charisma. Man, 5. Okay, so I'm going first. You got a 5, a 5, a 3, and a 2. Therefore, 5, 5, 5. No, 5, 5, 3, 2, 2. Okay, 5, 5, 3, 3, 2.
Yep.
Okay. So if I meet your 5 with the 5 on my baffle, then your stats will be lowered to 0?
No, you have to beat it's not a meter beat, it's beat. So the TN is my charisma, you've got to beat that charisma number, whatever it is.
Okay, so as long as I pay, then you can't do anything about it. On a 5 and a 5. Except for a reaction card.
Yeah, unless I can react by redirecting the attack to somebody else or something like that. Or there are rare numbers that will raise a TN, but it's the action card that says raise TN. It's not done by bravado. So yeah, unless I have some weird game effect, I am what it is. I can't adjust it.
Okay, like naturally you've got all 7 in hand. Yeah. Okay. Man, let's go for the gusto. Let's run on that.
You gotta go for it. Okay. Yeah. Matches of the wits. Okay. So I'm going to bring in everybody that I can then, in that case. So, Backlash comes in, Tito, Maya, Captain Eckhart, and Rene Ricabio, however you say your last name. Okay, so I'm bringing those guns in, and they're staying back. Alright, let's see. Okay, cool. All right, you get the first action since you were since you're considered the attacker.
Okay. It's intrigue, baffle. Okay, let's go. Dimitri will go on. You've got, which are your 5s? Tito and who else?
So Tito and Maya are my 5s. She's my 3. These are the 2s.
Okay, so what does Tito and Maya do again?
Tito, Intel. She has a craft action, so that doesn't do anything since we passed the Intel phase. So that's not going to do anything. She has an Intel action as well. We're in the mission phase, so none of their game effects are going to do anything because we're in the mission phase, not the Intel phase right now.
How many gear does everybody have on them?
So Tito just has the one revealed card, the luxury sports car. It gives him a react to being targeted by a transport action, and just ups his stats. So he has a 5 charisma, 5 transport. Maya has a equipment, but it's hidden. You don't know what it is. So I don't have to reveal that until I want to use it. So you can try to target her, but you don't know what the equipment is.
All right, let's go ahead on Maya.
Alrighty. So you're going to target Maya. I am going to do this. Okay. I know you have someone who reacts to a react. Can you read her effect again? Or his effect or whatever does that?
Okay, so that's Dimitri that I'm swinging with right now. The Crypt Face Man reacts Charisma X. And after an enemy agent declares an action that will cancel or redirect one of Dmitry Korpov's actions, cancel the enemy's agent's action. The TN is the enemy agent's craft.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. All right. And Backlash is the leader, so she'd be the one initiating my Bloodvine react, and her craft is not nearly as good as yours. So you'd be able to cancel her react. So I'm not going to bother reacting. Okay. So, and his react is just a general react, or is it specific to like an Intel react?
React Charisma X.
Okay. So yeah, it's not tied to mission or Intel specific. Okay, that's what I was wondering. Okay. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to look at what she's got on her, just so that I can look at this. What is your charisma again for that action?
5 on Dimitri.
It's a 5? Okay. Let me see what she's got. Okay. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Actually, no, that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and reveal Smart Skin. So that's going to give her a +2 to her charisma. She's now a 7. And I do have a React Craft X. After this agent is targeted by a craft or charisma action, discard Smart Skin, cancel the action. The TN is the acting agent's craft. Well, actually, I don't know if I do react, because you can cancel that stupid react with your react.
Yeah, like I do Dimitri, yeah.
So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to reveal it for the stat boost. So she's a 7 instead of a 5.
Okay, so I've got a pitch to make 8.
Yep.
Okay. All right, get rid of taking cover. 4-3.
All right, so you have an 8 total. Okay, so she is. I'm going to use a different token so that she is baffled. And a different token so that she is exposed. Okay. What was the react on the mission as the attacker? Again, I gotta read that. After each time a non-exposed agent becomes exposed or baffled, give that agent a bullet token and remove all other bullet tokens. Okay, so I've got to use a token. This will be the bullet token. So she's got the bullet token on her. Okay.
And the bullet token means what?
It means the end of the mission. Then whoever has the bullet token on them is going to be retired.
Okay. Alright, so I guess your action?
Alright, well, that really stinks. Okay. Well, okay, what's Dimitri's charisma?
5.
5. Okay. I am going to go ahead. Alright. But to win this thing, I need to do combat. Okay, 1 second. Dang it. I should have played other cards before you ran the mission. I think you just jumped it. Okay. Okay, well, let's do this. Who's your highest combat? Let me just do that. Who's your highest combat?
My girl Jessica Styles is a 3 combat.
Okay, and what's her charisma?
She is a lowly 2.
Okay, so in that case, I'm going to use Backlash and target Jessica, and she has the 3 charisma.
Okay, Backlash has 3 charisma. All right.
Yep.
And you're doing the baffle move?
Yep.
Okay, so 3 on my 2. Okay. And then in the final bullet says if leaders are wounded or if leaders are what? If leaders are removed from combat, sent back to HQ, what happens?
Sorry, say it again.
On the final bullet mission, what does it say for the attacker?
So basically, whoever has the final bullet is retired. So you would discard the agent, whoever has the final bullet on them.
Oh. Well, could you read the final bullet? Could you show the final bullet again? The card?
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so let me read this again. Alright, so after each time a non-exposed agent becomes exposed or baffled during this mission, give that agent a bullet token and remove all other bullet tokens from the game.
Okay, I'm still thinking that this is the last mission with the leader stuff. Okay, I don't have anything to worry about. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Although, 1 second.
Still thinking about this one.
Okay. Yeah, it's not the safe house.
Oh, yeah. Alright, so I don't have much to worry about. Okay. Alright, so you're doing 3 on my 2 to baffle to bring her to 0 stats?
Yep, and she's considered exposed to the end of the mission as well.
And she would get a bullet as well, or no?
I don't read it that way because if the defender effect attacks both the attacker and defender, it'll say so. This looks like it just affects me as the attack. Me as the one being attacked. That's the way it seems like. Because on the defender thing, the defender says, sorry. 1 second. So the defender says after the attacker and defender pass consecutively. So this is referencing both of us in that defender text. If you look at the attacker text, it says after each time a non-exposed agent becomes... Oh, never mind. I think it does pass around. I did just read it. I think it does sound that way. Okay.
Well, I mean, it sounds like it goes on more than one agent or whatever, right? Seems like it can be on multiple agents, right?
Yeah, but every time that a bullet passes to a new one, you discard any other bullet tokens. They're just trying to be thorough on this. It sounds like it just goes from person to person. Oh, so if you have to do a non-exposed, so if to baffle an exposed person that wasn't baffled, it wouldn't move the bullet. That's why it's worded that way. It has to be a non-exposed or baffled. So they have to be non-exposed, and they have to become exposed or baffled. So if I were to baffle someone who's already exposed for some reason, then it would not pass the bullet. That's why it's worded that way. In this scenario, it's going to be one and the same. So we're just moving the one around to each of us.
Okay, because everybody's exposed already. Okay. All right.
So the bullet would pass to her if she is exposed, because she'll be baffled and exposed.
Dang it. Yeah, I got nothing. I gotta take it. All right.
Alrighty.
So, yeah, so my stats are zeroed out.
Yep. So they're just 0 till the end of the mission.
Okay. All right, back to me.
Oh, I forgot to put a token on there showing that she already did a baffle action. Sorry. Sorry. So she should have had a token because she did something. My bad.
Okay. And those are two. Tito is back at HQ?
No, Tito is below my ass. So Tito has not done anything, and he's still in there.
Okay, Tito's a 5, right?
Yeah, he's the other 5 that I have, yep.
Okay. And then it has, 2 on 5.
Oh, wait, actually, I need to go back on one thing really quick.
Okay.
I just realized if I don't do it, then it's a waste on the card. So I am actually going to have you force you use your ability to stop me from doing this.
Hold on.
The one that would cancel the action that would have targeted her.
I thought I had some medicine in them things.
Yeah, I'll give it to you in a minute. Hold on. Okay. So you're forcing me to use the cancel, okay?
Yep.
And right. All right. So you can only bravado 1 card per agent.
Per action. Yep.
Okay. In that case, I'll go ahead and go my 3 Xavier on your Tito.
Tito is a 5. Okay.
Yep. So I can 3 in bravado 2.
Okay. Oh wait. First, I have a react for when you target it.
Okay.
Because I forced you to use your react, so I have my actual my faction inherent ability, which is a react from being targeting. So I'm going to react. It says I'm going to move the one that's targeting Tito, that baffle action. I'm going to move it to Captain Eckhart. The TN for this is actually it just says React Craft. There's no TN on it, so I can just move it. So I'm going to move that baffle to Captain Eckhart.
Okay. All right. So I guess that's a 3 on a 2.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'll put the bullet token on him. I will put the baffle here, so he's got 0 on his stats, so that you know that he's baffled.
Okay. All right, back to you.
Alrighty. And I've only done 1 action so far with this, her. Okay. Ooh, this is hard. Okay, so I'm going to use Tito. Who's your next highest combat?
Uh, Clean sweep or Borgia, their twos.
Oh, so and okay, yeah. So I'm gonna do the yeah, the one on the left. I'm gonna go off for you.
Okay.
So I'm gonna baffle him with Tito. Tito is a 5. Do you have a react to that before I discard Bravado? Bravado is the last thing you do, so you do reacts first before you discard Bravado.
Hey, if you're wounded in a combat, would you be able to swing or do anything?
You can still do whatever action the mission allows or whatever equipment allows. Even if you're wounded, you're just minus $2 stats while you're wounded.
Oh. Okay. Okay, I'll react. And you're going with who right now?
So Tito, 5 charisma, baffling. The top left, the guy on the bike, the Borea guy. I don't know if I said his name right.
Yeah, sounds about right. All right. Yeah, I'll react. Missing combat X. I can do that right now.
Yeah, what does that do?
Wound an opposing agent. If this is a public mission, expose this agent. The target number is the target's cover in combat, whichever is higher.
Oh. Okay, so the cover is 3. So what is your what's the going off of?
Yeah, I think I just want to do let me see.
Yeah, so I'm saying on your effect there on the card, it should tell you what skill you're looking at. Read the text on the card again.
Oh, missing combat X, wound.
So you're going off combat. Okay.
Yeah.
So what is your combat on him?
I thought I was just targeting any card on your field, right?
Yeah, but you have to meet a TN. It's combat X. You're using your combat skill. You're meeting the X number, so which the TN is my combat, I believe.
Oh, so I could use any one of my allies. I guess I'll use my clean sweep with the 2 combat.
Okay, so his combat's what?
2.
2. Okay, so here right now he's a 3, so you got to beat that 3. So you got to get a 4 higher. So you got to discard a bravado of 2 or more to make that TN.
Yeah, I'll get rid of this. Freddy.
Alrighty. So exposed and wounded. So I'll put this on him. And I will do the exposed. Okay, is that card? Is that a mission or is that a react?
Missing combat X.
Okay, so in other words, you would do that, but instead of doing the intrigue action, you would do that as your action for this combat right now, for this mission right now. So it does not say react; it's just mission combat X. So in other words, you would do that as your action for the mission round, and then it'll go back to me, then it goes back to you again, and then you can do an intrigue action.
Okay, but I can still go for the mission for the points, right?
Yeah, this is just something you do within a mission phase, which is what we're in right now.
Okay.
So in other words, you do that instead of an intrigue action for your action this mission, right? For right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, did I have to put it on Tito though? Could I have put it on the other 2 combat agent?
It's so again, an agent is always triggering the ability. So if you have him do it, then you have to target somebody with that, and the TN is the combat of the person you're targeting.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll just leave it where it is.
Okay. So now it goes back to me, and you wounded him, which really sucks. Okay. Okay, so did I baffled the Doria guy, right?
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So put a thing on him.
Okay. So I've got 2 baffled. So who is your next highest combat? I'm just going to have to work down that way.
Clean sweep.
Okay. So I'm going to... He has a charisma of what again?
0.
Okay. So I'm going to use... Renee to baffle for 2. And I'm going to baffle clean sweep. So I'm going to put this action token on her so that she's gone for the turn. So do you have any reacts to...
No reacts.
Okay, so it's 2 versus 0, so he's baffled. And now it goes back to you.
All right, I'll go Xavier with a 3 charisma on. So everybody who's been activated on your side has a... What do they have on them?
Okay, so activated is a green. Baffled is the blue. And exposed is the... Oh, sorry, he should have been exposed as well. Sorry. So baffled is the blue. The green is they've gone. So these guys are baffled. You have 0 stats for the rest of the round. These do not. They have their normal stats. No, he's wounded. Sorry, he's -2 to his stats as well. So these have their full stats, and they've already gone for the round. They have not yet. They probably won't, these 2, because they're baffled. He could still do something for 3 for intrigue because he's got 5 -2 from being wounded. So these 3 connect still. Tito, Megan, and the Captain Eckhart.
But if they're baffled, I thought they were 0s right now, though.
Yeah, they can, but again, I can discard to try and meet a TN.
Okay.
So I could discard a bravado to go from 0 to 3, is from 0 to 1, 2, 3, or 4. I'm trying to do something.
Okay. Yeah, let's go for Maya. And yeah, let's go for Maya charisma. What's her charisma?
0, because she's baffled. So she has a 0 right now.
Okay, she's already baffled, so...
Yeah.
There's no point in doing that. Okay, so... The guys who've already gone, they can't do anything else, so no point in...
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, except if you want to try and do something to their stats. Again, baffling reduces stats. It doesn't say you can't act. It's going to make it harder to act because you have 0 on your stats. But, again, it's all about the stats. So, I mean, Backlash still is contributing combat, even though she already acted. So you might want to try and baffle her still because she is, again, contributing for combat to the combat needed to win the mission.
Okay, and you say Maya's doing that?
No, Backlash is.
Okay, yeah, let's try to baffle Backlash. She has what charisma?
She has a 3 charisma.
Okay. Okay. 3. Okay, yeah. Let's try to 3 on 3 is I still need to meet 1 more to beat it.
Yep.
Okay. All right, let's pitch this 1. Carl.
Ready?
Yep.
Alright, so she is going to be baffled and exposed. So that's going to go to her. Alright. Also mark if they've done something so I know who's already acted this turn. This mission.
Okay.
Alright, so you still have 3 people that can act this mission?
Oh, man.
So I thought you went first. So by numbers, you should have as many people used up as me or less.
Yeah, so these 2 went for sure.
Okay.
These have gotten... Man, yeah, you got to have whole different separate tokens.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I've done 2 actions this round. So
yeah,
basically, if you went first, then you should have done your third just now. Your third person acting. Oh no! But you did an action that was not the intrigue action. You did a card action for one of your actions. So we should be tied. Actually, you're right. We should both be 1-1. Okay.
Blue is I've used them, so yeah.
Yeah. So we both have 2 down and 3 to go for actions. Okay. All right. Well, in that case, who's your next highest combat? I just have to do it. That's the only way I can make sense here.
Man, I guess if they have a different type of token on them, they're baffled, right? So.
Yep.
All right. So Dimitri is 2, but you've already gone. And then Carl is 1 and has a gun.
Yeah, but even if they haven't gone, if they're contributing to the win combat total, then they're still a threat.
Okay. Yeah, so
Dimitri he's not baffled and he has a 2 combat, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and use my action with Tito to go ahead and baffle the guy I just named. So sorry.
Oh yeah, Dimitri, okay.
Dimitri, yeah. So it's a 3 versus your 2 at the moment. So do you have a reaction to that before?
Well, and that's not charisma on charisma. That's combat on combat.
It's charisma on charisma.
Yeah, Dimitri actually has 5 charisma.
Oh, okay. Well, it's still my best shot because he's got 2 combat. Okay, he's still my best shot. So, are you going to do any reactions? Because again, you discard bravado after you've done reactions.
No reactions.
Okay, so I would need to discard a card to make it at this point. I need 3 or more. So I will discard. All right, so I am going to. Okay, I'm going to discard Battlefield Dominance for 3 bravado, so that he makes the TN. So he will succeed. So he goes from 2. Oh no, I need 4. Whoops, he's a minus. No, he's a 3. That's what I thought. Okay, he's a 3 minus 5 minus 2 is 3. So it's 3 plus 3 is 6. So he makes your 5 charisma. Okay. He beats your 5 charisma, sorry. That's what I meant to say.
Okay. So he's baffled.
Yep, he's baffled. Okay. Succeeded. Alright, and then I'm going to put the little he's done something token on him. So
do you know why they didn't use a different card back for the leaders?
I don't know if it's a different card back. I know that you can tell the difference because the leaders on the bottom right-hand side here, again, the leaders have that darkened out. On a regular agent, it's light gray. On a leader, it's black. It's dark on the right-hand number on the bottom.
Could have used a different card back, but I guess it'll be more money. But yeah. All right. So back on me.
Yep.
I mean, if everybody's baffled, then they can pretty much do nothing, though, right?
No, you can still do an action. You can, like I said, you can discard bravado to try and make a TN, to beat a TN still. It's going to be harder if they're baffled because they start at 0. But if you have cards to discard with bravado to try and make it, you could still try. Oh, I need to take this off because Dimitri, I just baffled, so he needs to have the bullet token. So I need to take off mine and give him the bullet token.
Okay. Silver bullet, all right.
Yeah.
All right, so seeing as how I have to beat whatever yours is, I shouldn't worry about it. Yeah, because I got to beat, not meet, right?
Yeah, you got to beat, not meet. Yep.
Oh, man. I mean, if your guys are baffled, then I can take them out, though, right? Yeah, actually, yeah. So 0 on a 0 plus whatever I have. Okay, my bad. Okay, so yeah, I will go with Carl.
However, if they're already baffled, baffling again on someone baffled doesn't do anything. Because you're just reducing 0 to 0.
Okay. And all your guys are basically baffled, looks like.
No, I've got 2 that are not.
Alright, yeah, so let's go for...
Renee is not baffled. She's just acted this turn. That's why I have a green token. She's acted this turn. So these 3 have acted. They have not. These 3 are baffled. Those 2 are not. This one is injured. So he's -2, not 0 to stats. He is -2.
Okay.
But these 3 are 0 to all their stats. So the only one that's not touched that's full strength right now is Renee, but she hasn't acted. I bet she's acted this turn, sorry. But she is the only one that's full strength.
And
she has no wounds or baffling.
Okay, and Renee, does she have any unexposed gear?
Yes. She has 1 piece of equipment that's not been exposed.
Okay, so let's go for, I guess, Renee. I guess the chick in the top right corner. Yeah. I'll go for the baffle on her.
Yeah, I want to see if I want to expose this. Okay. Nope, actually, because her response is not to the type of action happening to her. So I will not reveal that equipment. So her charisma is 2.
2?
Yep.
Yeah, so you've got 0 charisma, and then I'll just discard this.
Oh, no, she's not been baffled, so she has 2 charisma.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I've got the 0 right here.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I'll discard this too.
Do you have a 3? Because target number means you need to beat it. She's a 2, so you need a 3.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing I can do. Yeah, there's nothing.
Okay. So, in that case, you would pass then, if you don't see anything you want to do right now with your agents.
Yeah, I'll pass it.
Okay. I have 2 that have not acted, so they can act still. Of course, they start at 0 base because they're both baffled, so I'm going to have to start with 0. But I do want to do this. Alright, so who's your next highest combat that's not baffled? I think I've baffled 3 of your 6 people, right? At this point? To meet your top 3, right?
I think just these are the 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, I know I did baffle
4.
Dimitri.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 4.
Okay. So you got 2 left that are not baffled, right?
Yeah, so highest combat is what? They're both 1s.
Okay. So so out of the ones that are both 1 combat, who's got the next best, who's a higher cost agent out of the 2?
Xavier is a 7 cost.
Okay, so I'm going to target Xavier with a baffle action.
Okay. Alright, so we've got 3 charisma.
He's got 3 charisma. Okay. Alright, do you have any reacts, first of all?
No.
Okay. So I'm going to discard Akira Forsyth to go from a 0 to 4 for that action. So he is baffling for 4.
Okay.
Alright, so that moves the baffling to him. So he's going to be baffled and exposed and gets the bullet token. Alright, so now it goes back to you, so you can come back and do something, or you can pass again.
Alright, I'll pass it.
Oh, so I forgot to put there that Maya acted. Did I say Maya? Yeah, that's right, because she's the only one that could have acted. All right. Sorry, so did you pass again?
Yeah, passed it.
Okay. All right, so what is the last person's combat? Because now we're down to like one person left each.
One combat.
Gotcha. I need combat +4 to win it. So I'm going to just pass as well, because there's nothing else I want to do. So it goes back to you again. You would pass. If you didn't do anything, so I'm assuming you're done, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we both passed, ends it. So now we resolve things. We're going to look at total numbers. So again, I've got baffled, baffled, baffled. So these three don't count anything. All 0 stats. I'm going to just move aside and 0 on that. These two are not baffled, but he's wounded. So he has a 0 combat anyway, and she has a 0 combat anyway. Okay, so I have a 0. What is your total combat? I think it's 1, since we've done all of it.
Whoa, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I should have just stuck the coins. But 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like, yeah, that's a baffle as well. Yeah, right. Yeah.
So just again, if they're baffled, 0 on their stats, they're not going to count for anything.
I guess 1. Yep.
Okay. So then we look at what you got versus me. You are combat +1, so you have 1 higher than me. So you look at the final bullet, and so that means that you do not meet it. So that means that as the defender, it goes to me. So I score 5 points, so it goes to me. But we also resolve this as the defender here. Sorry, 1 second. After the attacker and defender pass consecutively, retire any agent with a bullet token. So whoever had the bullet token is retired. So they are discarded, is what that means.
Okay. Now all of these are because I didn't know there was going to be a million tokens. But all of these are baffled tokens, right?
Yeah. So basically, since the baffled, that's only till the end of the mission, so you can remove all the baffled tokens now. It's not a permanent status.
Okay.
So I would just take out those. Now, the exposed status is permanent until you get rid of it. So if they're exposed, so if they were baffled from this, they were exposed. So you're going to leave the exposed token on them, show that they were exposed. And my wounded stays, because again, wounded is also permanent until you heal it or otherwise. So I'm going to leave that on Tito as well. So let's go back. So I need to put these guys back. So I'm just going to move these guys back over to here. I think these guys were, oh, she was exposed. So the only one that did not get baffled was Renee. That's right. Okay, so I move my leader back, and we are good. Okay. So we resolve it, so I get 5 points. That's it. I'm not, and so that's it. So we're done with the mission phase. I have nothing else that I want to play. You did run the mission, so I would have been able to play more actions, but I'm not going to do any more. So that ends it. So we're just going to do the debrief phase now. So we're going to go ahead and draw 5, discard down to 7.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. All right. Right. Okay, so that's that. And that's that. All right, 1, 2. I have 8, so I got to discard 1. I'll discard my second, Miss Ash. That's what I'll discard. All right, so now we refill the queue. So this Sting, Manhattan, Carnival, and these 3 fill up the line. All right. I'm going to move that up so it's easier to see. Okay. All right. All right. All right. So now we need to add up craft again. I believe it's the same unless it's changed. So 2, 4. That's 6, 7. So sorry, 14 crafts. I have 14.
13.
All right. So I'm not going to make the same mistake again. I'm going to do an action card for my first action. I'm going to do this. I'm going to play the night before. So this is going to be... sorry. Come on, you stupid... Okay, so Intel Charisma X, so it's going to be off my Charisma. The target number is going to be a variable. That's why it says X. So I target an agent. The target may not assign to a mission team this turn. The TN is the target's Charisma. So I use my Charisma versus the target's Charisma. If I beat it, they cannot contribute. They cannot join a mission team this turn. So I'm going to play that the night before. It's an Intel Charisma X action, so I play it as an action during the Intel phase before we do missions. So I'm going to play this first. I am going to target... yeah. Alright, who's your highest Charisma again? I am...
Xavier.
Okay. Why am I... Oh, okay. I was like, what in the world? Alright, so your highest Charisma... Sorry, one more time on the Charisma.
Oh, yeah. Xavier has 3.
That's right. So I'm going to target Xavier with Maya, who's got a 5. And so, if you cannot beat that, then again, the only effect is they just can. Sorry, if you can't raise the TN, then it's successful, or if you can't react to it. And the only effect, again, it doesn't affect their stats. They have to sit out on a mission this turn. They can't join a mission team. That's what it does this turn. That's my action. So it would be your action next. Oops, and that's what I played. So to make sure. Yep. But I think I'm missing something. What the heck? Alright. Forgot that I had this guy. Alright.
Nope. Right. So put you in HQ.
Yep.
Okay, I will... And you've got how many people on board?
Oh, I'm not doing an action. I'm just playing a card. So again, it's my 5 versus the 3. I just said that he can't attempt a mission. Join a mission team, I should say. So all I did was play that card. It's your turn. Oh, you mean how many do I have in my HQ?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have my leader, 4 agents, a hidden agent as well. So yeah, I've got 4 agents in the leader and 1 hidden right now.
Oh yeah. What are the missions?
Alright, so the missions here, we have Manhunt at Carnival. This is a chase mission. Private and transport +4.
Okay, what about the other one?
The Sting. It's an intrigue, private, charisma +2.
Okay. Mm. Um. Hmm. Hmm. All right, I'll go ahead and pull out the team on Manhunt and Carnival.
Manhunt at the Carnival. Okay. All right. You're going for it, aren't you? Alrighty. Alright, so this is a chase. Oh, it's all transport stuff. Oh, I hate your transport stuff. Alrighty. I don't have a choice, really. I kind of got to go for it. Okay. Now, it does have an effect here, so I got to double check here before I do anything. Alright. So, the effect says all vehicles are considered blank during this mission. So, if you have any vehicle gear, it's all blank this mission. And it says your agents may use craft instead of transport to meet a skill check. Oh, so if there's a skill check that requires transport, we can use craft to meet the skill check this time around. Alright, and it's the same thing on the other side for the defender. So just keep that in mind. Your vehicle are all blank, and then if we're doing a skill check that normally requires transport, we can use craft instead to meet it. Alright, I have to try and block, so, because this is game otherwise, if I don't. So I'm gonna bring in everybody that I can. Leaving the guy behind, sorry. Actually, you can't see her if I don't bring her over, sorry. Let me just rearrange things. Here we go, alright. Alright, so I'm bringing in 4 guys and my leader to defend. Okay. I don't know how this is going to go, because you have a lot of transport. Oh, man.
Alright, let's use... what are your transport stats over there?
Okay, so he had really good transport, but the car is blank, so he has a transport of 2. So Tito's transport is 2. Her transport is 2. Maya's, Her transport is 1. Renee's is 1. Her transport is 2. Backlash's is 2. And his transport is 2 for Captain Eckhart as well.
Alright, let's go Backlash. Let's go evade on Backlash.
Alrighty. Do you still have the guy that stops my react?
No, that was Dimitri.
Gotcha, okay. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to redirect that with my once per mission turn react Bloodvine ability. I'm going to redirect that to Captain Eckhart.
Okay. With this a 6 on a 2.
Yep. Oops. Okay. So that's an evade, right? So yeah. So he's going to go back to the mission. Back to my HQ.
Okay.
Alrighty. Good job. My turn to try and evade, right?
Yep.
Let's see. Oh wait, I just realized something. It is saying that for doing, we can use craft instead of transport to meet a skill check. That's right. And that's what those are, skill checks for these basic actions. Okay, so I'm actually going to use, who's got your highest transport? I think it's that guy in the upper left hand, right?
Yeah, Borya 7, 6.
Yeah, because any equipment is blanked that they have that's a vehicle.
6.
Alrighty. So I'm going to use Renee because she actually has a craft of 6, and you can use craft for skill checks that require transport normally because of the mission specifics. So she is going to go ahead and target him with the evade action, but using her craft for it to meet the skill check.
Okay, so Borja has React Transport X. After a craft action targets one of your agents, redirect the action to Borja if he's a legal target. The TN is the acting agent's crafts. Okay, well that wouldn't work.
Wait, is that the text you just read? Is that off the equipment or the character?
That's the character.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Read it again. I apologize.
Seems like it would be the same thing, but React Transport X. After a craft action targets one of your agents.
Oh, it's not a craft action. I'm using craft, but I'm using an actual transport action.
Okay.
Normally I'd use transport, but the Manhunt Carnival, if you read the text, it says that we can use to meet a transport mission skill requirement. So there's transport actions and a skill requirement. In this mission, we can use craft to meet those. So it's not a craft action. It's still a transport action. We're able to use craft numbers to meet it.
Okay.
So I'm using her 6 craft for a transport action. So you wouldn't be able to react to this text in this case. But I still have to get higher than 6 because she's a 6 right now. So what I need to do to try and beat that, I have to get higher. So I'm going to reveal her stealth suit, and it gives her a +1 to her craft. And it's not a vehicle gear, so she can use its text. So she's a 7, so she does meet the TN. She does beat the TN, I'm sorry, with a 7. So she will knock him back to headquarters.
Okay. Alright, then I guess your action, or?
It's back to your action, but I'm knocking him back to headquarters.
Okay.
Yep. Because I got it by 1 because of the stealth suit. I was able to beat the TN. Okay. The stealth suit.
Alright, let's go Carl on what is Renee's transport?
Renee's transport is a 1. So her transport is really low. So her defending against this is going to be pretty easy for you to beat.
Okay, what's backlashes?
Oh, backlashes, transport is 2.
Let's go Carl on 4 on 2 with Carl on Backlash.
Okay, so yeah, do I have a reaction to save? No. Okay, so she is going to go back. Alright, so she goes back to HQ. Alrighty, we are eliminating numbers here. Alright. Oh, I need to do the whole didn't action token, sorry. So I don't mess that up. She already acted this turn. Okay. Alrighty. My turn, right? Because you just sent her back? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So I'm going to do another evade action. I'm going to try and do that action again with Renee. I'm going to play this card, Tricks of the Trade again. Now I do have to meet the charisma of 5 to be able to play the card. She does have a 2, so I do need a discard a bravado of 3 or more to be able to play the card. So do I have that in my hand? I do. So I will discard my second stealth suit for 3 bravado. So she does make the 5 react charisma skill check to play the card. So she will be able to do a second evade action. So who's your next highest transport?
Carl for 4.
So I am going to do an evade action. Again, because of the text, I can use craft for the evade action. So she's going to do her 7 against his 4 for his transport.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Alrighty. Now it goes back to you.
Alright, I'll go clean sweep. I'll go
Okay.
clean sweep with 3 on, I guess it was the lowest.
Oh, the lowest out of them is, well, they're all 2s or 1, but the lowest is Renee. She's got a 1 transport. And remember, and again, the rules are for this special mission, you can use craft skill for the evade action. So if you have someone who has a higher craft than their transport skill for the evade action, you can do their craft skill. And you can use their craft number for the evade action with this mission.
Right. Yeah, I'm just going 3 on the lowest. Who's the lowest?
Okay. Alright, so that's on Renee. She has a 1. So I have no react. So you beat the TN. You got her. I cannot do anything about that. So she is going to go back. Alright. Oh, 2 on 2. Okay. Oh man. Wow. Alright, I am going to do Tito. Tito's going to do an evade action. Let's see. Who is your highest transport at this point?
Clean sweep with 3.
That's right. So he's going to go, he's wounded. So he's got to do it. He's got a, so he's going to use his SpyCraft. I mean, it's not craft, sorry, the game is SpyCraft, sorry. He uses craft skill, because again, the mission allows you to do it for the transport actions. So I'm going to do the evade transport action with his 4 craft, now reduced to 2 because of wounded. So I do need to discard bravado to make it. I need at least a 2 or more. So okay, I'm going to discard Jenny for 3 bravado. So that will give him a 5 for the beating the TN. So that's the 5 versus your 3. So he does make it. So it would knock him back. Then it is your action. Oh, inactive. So I gotta put that. Actually, it doesn't matter. She's out, so I'll just put that there. All right. Your action.
Right. Yeah, I should have used Jessica Styles' power a long time ago, but yeah, I mean she's only got a transport of 1, so I guess I'll just
Well, again, you can discard bravado if you wanted. Again, my highest, they're both 2 each. And again, if you have a higher craft, what's her craft?
5 craft.
Yeah. So again, she can do an evade action because of the mission, but use her craft skill. That's what the mission specifically says you can do. So you can do a evade action and knock out anyone who's got a 4 or less on transport.
Yep, I guess I'll go Maya.
Alrighty. So Maya goes bye-bye. Yep. Alright, so Maya goes down. She's out. Alright, then it goes back to me, and I have already acted. And he has no effects that do anything. He has no text or otherwise. So I have to pass. I have nothing else I can do. So it goes back to you, because I passed.
Right, so... Alright, yeah, so, I mean, it's just a... and then what? Transport. Yeah, she's only got 1. But...
Okay, so that means that would be a mission that would go to me as a defender. So I'd go over here. So we're now at 16 versus 10. And so I go back here. And then your person stays up there in case you want to extend the mission.
No.
Alrighty. So that means that ends things. So we're going to shift this over. Next one is destroy the biochem lab. Oh, it's a fight and combat +3 to win. And it says after one of your agents is wounded, move that agent to your headquarters. Oh, so instead of the usual just wounded, it also acts like an evade action. It will also knock them back to headquarters in addition to moving them for this mission. That's pretty cool. So, yep, next one is destroy the chem lab. And this is going to come out. Cool. Alright. So now we look at crafting. Oh, actually no, you ran the mission. So I'm going to do, I think, 3 more actions. I'll just do them really quick in order here. I'm going to do a briefing because I've not done that this turn yet. So that will be 7 plus 7 is 14. So that's going to knock her to a general regular agent. And then it's going to pop up my next leader, which is Olivia Lobo. And then I am going to put an equipment down on Renee, a gear on Renee for my action. And then my last action is I will put down another agent. And she's another agent. She's not a gadget. So I'm going to just put these agents down there so they don't get confused with equipment. And that's it. That's all I'm doing as well on my turn.
Yep. I mean, I think at this point I'm gonna have to concede. I'm not gonna be able to catch up at this point. I don't think.
Gotcha.
I mean, you got the level 3 out. No way I can keep up at this pace.
Gotcha. No, it makes sense. So that's really kind of the key of this game is sort of making sure you're getting those bigger leaders out as soon as possible, because then it opens up more people, more firepower.
Man, I should have just used this Jessica Styles power, but wasn't thinking about it at the time. But
yeah, what is it?
After an agent declares or reacts to an action by one of your agents, cancel the react. The TN is the reacting agent's craft.
Oh yeah. So
when you react
yeah,
on
and
that
a lot about this is you look at again. There's a lot of pieces moving in this game in terms of just making sure you're keeping track of your reactions you can do when your opponent acts something, because that can tip things. It can make things very different in the game. But it was a really good game because honestly, you jumped really fast, a lot faster than I've ever played somebody, and that threw me off initially. I was like, "Holy crap! How do I stop this guy?" Because you just kept going for mission after mission after mission. So that was very unexpected strategy. So I appreciate that. It kept me on my toes.
Yeah, let me gotta remember, gotta always brief. If you don't brief, gotta brief.
Yep, exactly. Very important in this game.
Oh yeah.
So since it's your first time playing this game, so what'd you think?
Yeah, I mean it was cool, but yeah, the webcam, yeah. With me having the same missions though, finding that out, this makes a big deal. But yeah, this is more of a. It seems like more of an in-person game though, with all the stats, and not the highest fidelity of webcams going on. Don't you think? Do you think so?
Sorry, I was coughing for a sec. I apologize. One more time.
No, I was saying, this seems more like a in-person game rather than a webcam because of all the little numbers and the missions. But with me being able to see the missions in my own stack, that was better. But, yeah. I mean, it seems like something that would be better in person, though.
Yeah, I do agree that the game is better in person. That's for sure. I think there's still a lot of value that even if you do it, it's still pretty fun, but it's definitely better in person, versus doing it over the stream.
Oh yeah, maybe. So I guess this is one of your top fives, though.
Oh yeah, it's definitely one of my top fives. Because I think that the game is very thematic. Like I think the whole espionage thing really comes out in this game. Like I feel like I'm in the world of espionage when I'm playing this game, because you have all those unknowns and you have to make guesses and did I make the right guess, and tell you is it going to pay off or not, and sort of that bluffing strategy. So I love it. But yeah, definitely it's one of my top fives. I love this game.
Oh yeah, man, I can see it, especially more in person. But yeah, good first play. Now I got a better understanding. Too bad I'll forget it by the next time I ever get to play. But
well, no, definitely. If there's ever someone to play a game, I'm always up for it. So that's definitely for sure. But yeah, I appreciate you playing the game with me. So because it's hard to find people who like to play older games that are dead. So I really enjoyed hanging out with you, man. You're awesome, and being able to play the game with you and play the game with somebody who's not going to laugh at me or scoff at me about it.
Man, I mean, so what about Overpower? Is it about on the same level as this, or just way easier?
Overpower is a lot less intricate, so it's definitely I hate to use the term easier because that's a lot subjective in a lot of ways, but it's a lot simpler in terms of there's not as much going on. So yeah, Overpower would be quote unquote easier. Yes, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, definitely before I play again, I would have to write down the rules about the meeting and the beating and everything.
Yeah, definitely. But the great thing about this game is that once you play a few games, it's all second nature. It gets really easy to understand the game and work with it once you play it a few times, because it's pretty intuitive in a lot of ways, even though it's intricate, I think. So I'm thinking the next time we definitely can do Overpower next week. I think that would be really fun. And like I said, it's a simpler game in a lot of ways, a lot simpler. So I think you would have a lot of fun with it.
Cool. Check that out here coming up soon. All right. Well, yeah, I guess till next time. Guess we'll sign on out.
Alrighty, man.
All right.
Have a great night, everybody.
A nighty night, guys. Later. Mm-hmm. Right here.